So, yeah, no, I thought it went really well.
You're running for mayor.
Who's running for mayor?
Please. How you doing?
Good.
I'm doing. How are you? Was yourself, right? There's a problem.
You think?
No,
You didn't remember.
Dr. Shields, don't get on over here. Oh, and he.
Oh, really? I guess so.
Because I did that, remember that it was a.
He-
I texted him yesterday, I texted Rory, and I texted Mikey, and then he texted me back.
And I texted you guys yesterday and said, don't forget, when was it, that 19th, I texted you, but hopefully,
Oh, I
Days, happy Mother's Day.
Not my favorite, just totally just in case she gives a number or.
well, I texted you both, and I
That's,
texted you
yeah.
guys at 9:09.
Yes, yes,
You just said that, but then my who's there?
That's probably why everybody was confused.
There you go. He's doing something, he's doing
I know.
something for himself.
I know, we are. I got, there's what I'm doing.
For, he's driving a truck.
No, you have. No, if you have, it's not enough. They're totally, what is that? Like.
Hey, Mark, great, right now, how are you?
No, thank you. Hi, thank you. Nice to meet you.
You just have to go down and talk to the doctor. They had a little box there.
Good, don't need more pens.
It's what I'm saying, but they decided to come. Good.
So do we have the motion or something?
Well,
Everybody, Howie, Anita, Liz, circumstances is not.
Oh,
No, he had, but he said he would be willing to come on a different day.
I had a feeling.
But he originally said he could, but then he had some complications.
And Dr. Compost couldn't come because he had something else scheduled, but he's willing to come on another day. Oh, no. Anyway.
All I was worried about, I'm under this thing. I have to feel, I have a, feel better. Without even looking back. Tell us the story yesterday.
Yeah, it's over here.
Mark, and shit, first.
And.
Oh, yeah, I turned it in.
And I'm on Broadway. And we got it yesterday with the living update and. So that was.
Here.
They were.
Yeah, for the pens and everything.
Bring it.
Hey, sorry, the grammar.
It was. Your track, you thought that he did it so hard, and then. Yes.
Right, I asked for the pen and you gave it to us.
It's just gonna be.
I signed for the pen.
It's great, it's just. No, sorry.
Was good on.
Thank you. I'm going to my sister. He was there waiting.
Yeah.
Sunday and yesterday, but. My son came down to some to look into our finances, yeah.
You gotta call me.
I said no. Yeah.
And then they also have questions. I think I need these things, so you'll find this. We stand, all that stuff.
We're better off now when.
But I just, I will be said, he gave an update, he gave an update, he said they were happy. And they said that they're happy to provide it as a sense that we need and the training that we need. Yeah. He said it's about follow So it is what it is.
Yeah, mi ma. Se va con la chica por para.
Well,
Yeah.
we have four.
I'm awful with them.
They should go in. Nice one.
I would like to call this meeting to order at 9:05 and establish a quorum. Ms. Leanne?
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez,
Here.
Madam Vice Chair, Luis Portillos. Here, present. Secretary Mark Dominguez,
Present.
trustee Andrea Sandy, trustee Richard Miguel, trustee Rolando Medrano, trustee Rosalie Ortega.
And now we have, notice of the meeting. Vice Chair Portillo.
Thank you. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 12, 2026. This is the regular session Board of Trustees meeting of the Luna Community College Board of Trustees. Notice that this meeting was provided in accordance with the Luna Community College Open Meetings Act resolution. The agenda was posted at least 72 hours in advance of today's meeting at the office of the president and the Luna Community College website at www.luna.edu. Any person who requires any special accommodations to attend or participate can contact the Luna Community College president at 505-454-2500 or 1-800-588-7232, extension 1000 for assistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance. Get the pledge of allegiance. Oh, Rose.
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You need to give the memo. That's what I said, because I got the orange.
There's okay.
Yeah, personal.
There's-
Next thing up.
Good job, yeah, you sure.
No, thank you.
You can retire those.
Thank them for that's it this morning.
Unless we're looking for, there's policy, then we'll see if it passes.
Okay, then I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda, Madam Chair.
Okay.
How much coffee did you make? You okay?
No, this is good coffee that Ray makes. Thank you, Ray. Approval of the minutes. Okay,
I didn't see any discrepancies.
I have some questions.
Okay.
Madam Chair.
Oh, sorry, roll call.
Madam Chair,
No,
Dr. Phyllis
yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Luis Portillos,
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez, trustee Andrea Sandy, trustee Richard Miguel, trustee Rolando Medrano, trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
Gosh, we barely made the forum today.
I got it, though.
We better not ever have a meeting at o'clock. Everybody was still in bed at 8.
Please, to make their pride everybody.
Yes.
And Rosalie.
Yes, and me. Oh, I just had hop and skip.
Yours is like happiness. Money's too hot, you don't have.
And they were bad, they were four yesterday.
I was gonna guess they had way too much
I
coffee.
have questions. Okay, on the second page, it says Secretary Mark Dominguez requested minutes from shared governance meeting pertaining to bylaws. Did you get those? Did you still want those?
Yes, I do, Madam Chair. I know I had not received them. I believe there, I think Mrs. Ford said she was,
Okay,
but I have not received it.
okay, just a question. And also you asked on page 5 for minutes from the LCC Foundation Board.
Yes.
page 5 right there. You still want those also?
Yes.
Okay. And, I think that was it. Productivity, I guess, the Portillo Brown and Hill was on only if you had to ask for 1 year at a time. And I think we did that because we voted for 24, 25, and 25, 26. Okay.
But we,
Yeah. Okay, so I would like a motion to approve the April 14th minutes.
I saw move, Madam Chair.
And a second.
Second.
And roll call, this time I remember.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary, Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee, Andrea Savvy. Trustee, Richard Behill. Trustee, Rolando Medrano. Trustee, Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
Okay, and the next one is the special session. I reviewed the minutes, didn't have any questions in it. Does anyone else have any questions regarding April 28th? If not, then I would like,
The only thing that I didn't see in there, Ms. Leslie Ann, and correct me if I'm wrong. I had commented on stewardship. And I had read some information on stewardship and being good stewards of taxpayer money and its impacts and accountability. And I don't see that in the minutes to reflect. Is there a reason that was not put in there? Okay. Yeah, we can take note to that. I really feel it's important. I know you have a lot of work with Leslie Ann, and I'm not saying you don't, but the minutes are to reflect what one says or what we can reflect to go back to a board member not here or here. And I just want to reiterate that to our board members that you need to be better stewards of taxpayer money regardless of what your personal or professional views are. And I do not want to be in the paper. I do not want to be elected by the Attorney General. I do not want to be removed by the district court. So having that said, thank you, Ms. Lesbian. Thank you, Madam Chair.
then if you could, look for that and make those, and then, we will approve the minutes at a later time when that's put in.
And I can get them for you if you'd like, Ms. Lesbian.
So I need a motion to table. I make a motion that we table. And a second.
I'm sorry, for a second.
Nobody used to second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. And roll call.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary, Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee, Andrea Savvy. Trustee, Richard Behill. Trustee, Rolando Medrano. Trustee, Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
Was there any public comment, Mrs. Garcia?
No.
Then we need new personnel and employee student recognition.
Madam Chair, I'd like to pay my personal point of privilege at this time before we go on with public comment, if I may, please.
Yes.
Let the record reflect that trustee Medrano is in the room. And can I be recognized, Madam Chair?
Yes.
So this issue is, thank you, let me just serve Trustee Medrano, just so that you can get the stuff, so. Madam Chair, I'm having a hard time dealing with this. Collectively, this board has worked very hard to get where we're at. We've come to overcome some stuff that we've been doing, and our different personalities have been, have had contrast and there are working mechanisms. Unfortunately, this issue is relevant to the institution, very important that we set some standards. So it's come to my attention that an employee was granted or warranted the use of a personal vehicle and
Personal vehicle.
a Kuna Community College vehicle. And whatever the circumstance, our administrator felt the need to either assist or grant. I have an issue with that. It goes back to the stewards of taxpayer money. And it sets a precedence for the rest of the institution. That if your personal vehicle breaks, the institution will lend you a vehicle. The last thing I wanna do is kill morale. I think everybody in this institution has worked very hard, including President Linder. She works countless hours along with her team and everybody else in the institution that's not recognized. So I would ask you, Madam Chair, that you seek a legal opinion and find disciplinary action so that this matter does not constitute an ongoing issue. If that person would have gotten in an accident, we would be on the hook for that. The taxpayer would, because it's a Luna vehicle. Now, if the president wants to go pick somebody up and bring them to work, I don't have an issue with that. She's the executive administrator, and as such, I don't have a problem with that, but every vehicle, you know, if this person didn't have a driving record, didn't have, submit a defensive driving program, and if it's not implemented into our institution, part of an HR person is to find compliance in our institution, so what are we doing? We're supposed to be moving forward and not backwards. So let that be a lesson for all of us, to do what's right for this institution so that we can all continue to work here. And when you wake up in the morning, realize that that's why you have a job, because of the students that you put forth. Having that said, Madam Chair, thank you very much, and I yield my time back to you.
Thank you. Next item, new personnel and employee student recognition. Dr. Linder.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Dr. Martinez. You can find the new employee recognition on page 16 of your packet. And we just welcome two wellness center technicians, Deontay Byron and Loretta Martin, who have started in April 22nd. Did have a couple of recent separations, Willow Greenback and Angelica Orso was an ACE tutor, but we're happy that she finished with her nursing degree. And so we're happy that she's gonna go on and be a nurse, but we'll miss her in the ACE tutoring lab, and I know she's been a lot of help to Mary Frances into that program. We do have a list of the key vacancies that need to be filled.
I just have one question. Is this the lady that was asked to, that her boyfriend asked her to marry?
Yes.
Yes, Madam Chair, that is the one that.
Oh,
Yes.
it was at the pinning
At the
ceremony.
nursing pinning, she was her fiance asked to, took her hand in marriage at
Yes.
the nursing home.
On his knees.
On his knees. And even got up from that. So that was good.
The rest of us.
And she accepted,
Yes.
and she accepted.
Thank
She
you
also,
for that.
she also was one of our honored speakers
Yes.
at commencement.
Yeah.
So we wish her all the best. We've got a number of vacancies that are posted that we're trying to fill. One other recent separation that we'll list next month that we're sorry to lose is Joy Frazier from our financial aid office. She actually had did not really want to leave, but had a family situation that caused her to have to leave the institution. And I want to say that Joy was a great advocate for Luna Community College. She participated in all the parades. She really did a great job with students, and we're going to miss her. And Willow also is somebody that worked with us for a long time in the preschool, and so we'll miss them. So we have the positions that are posted there. Probably the biggest ones are the accounting technician in grants and accounts receivable. That position is posted, and then the vice president for finance and administration, although we're happy to have Dr. Shields still continuing with us.
And this was the lady who recently left. Continue.
Yes, okay. So under the staff and student recognition.
One more question I have. Do you have any applications for the VP of Finance?
I do. We actually have an on-campus interview that was scheduled for May 27th.
Okay, so you have one.
We've had several interviews.
Okay,
So we've had several interviews, but we have another candidate.
So you have some potential.
We have some potential.
Well,
So we're moving forward. And we have Dr. Shields in the meantime.
yes, thank you, Dr. Shield.
Dr. Linder, I don't see anything for Springer.
That position actually, when we did this packet, wasn't in there, it wasn't posted yet, but, I've been working with Michael on revising that job description, so he gave me a job description last week. And then I sent it back for some revisions, and so, he's working on that.
If I can get an update from Dr. Romero later
Well,
on,
we just need to get it finalized, I have to finalize the job description.
but I wanna know what's going on. So I'll ask.
She can, yeah, she can give an update about that in her report, although Dr. Romero doesn't have very much of a voice. So we might have her signing and we're all gonna learn sign language this morning,
Oh,
so.
well, you know what, as a teacher for 30+ years, I never lost my voice.
From Mora.
Wow.
And I have lost my voice.
And I had some throats and everything, but the kids were so lucky.
Bring, and so if you look at the sort of outstanding recognitions, I've talked about some of these before, definitely the Charlotte's Web production was a really great, production. Coach Crutch and athletic director sent out an email yesterday, talking about all the statistics and the school records that were set this year. And they did make it to the semifinals and at McCook, so great season and huge shout out. And unfortunately, I think all the players have left, but it would have been great to recognize all of them.
Yeah.
And
Plus their grades.
And their grades.
More made the academic.
yep,
a lot.
yeah, so that's really a great thing.
Trustee Dominguez,
President Linder, I'd like to also add to that, I'd like to thank Coach Rhodes and Mr. Wright for their extended participation with the softball team, driving and taking on that, or haven't gotten no complaints of our students being there, so
having to walk.
yeah, breakdowns, and it's, I know it's hard to find drivers, but shout out to your faculty and staff that are in the athletics that are doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
Like
Thank you,
last
trustee.
year, didn't they have to?
We had a breakdown last year.
Let's go get in there.
Yeah, that hasn't happened this year.
Good. Thank you.
So, we did have, if you look at that, just shout outs also, we already mentioned this Hello Dolly Junior, the Mora Town Hall, and all the people that participated in that, and we're having a follow-up and doing some action. Dr. Romero was following up on that Mora Town Hall and doing that. Again, the softball team and the nursing association participated in the Guyanus Riverwalk at that cleanup, city cleanup, which was very nice. And then I have listed as the last bullet point, all the people that were recognized at the 3rd annual alumni awards banquet. And so several people, several of our students, and Cherise Sanchez, who's here this morning, was recognized. And I'm probably forgetting some of the other people, but anyways, Angelica was recognized. And it was a great event, and I appreciate trustee Madrano and trustee Sandy attending that event.
And
And
I,
Marcelino, who was also a speaker at commencement, was recognized as well, and Jacqueline Romero.
and I also wanted to reiterate this more on town hall, because I think it was a great turnout and a lot of great ideas. Thank you, Michael.
So, there are, each unit has done some different shout outs, Samson, who's been helping out, with, in improvement in admissions. Let me see what else that we have there. All the program directors that supported outreach throughout the year and grant coordination and all that sort of thing. Maverick Morris, I don't know if everybody's met him, but he's been working on our employee training. He's doing a training this afternoon for AI that's at 2:00, I think this afternoon as part of in-service week. And Isaiah Rodriguez is always somebody that just, if you need help, he is there, right, Jeff? He is just, has been a great addition to the Luna team. And all the people, I also want to give a recognition. This is in service week and we will be recognizing people that have been serving on committees and the Student Information Services Implementation Team. And all the people that are still working on that on top of their regular duties is really, really huge. So shout out to all of them that are doing that. And then again, just on page 19, Denise Fox continues to do the shout outs on the campus level. And that's something that's really positive. And so we take the time to just read about that. Bethany and George guys, Christino for the girls' camp lunch. Raylan Griffiths and Denise Fox for putting, the health fair was a really successful health fair that we had in April. And so a lot of great work. And Lydia Okoje is working in our Wildfire Resiliency Training Center. And if you went to the Highlands commencement, she is the Student Senate President over at Highlands. And so, and was graduating. Lydia Okoje, and she's working for us in the Wildfire Resiliency Training Center.
So I just have one more thing to add, and I would like to recognize the financial aid department because we didn't have the issues that we had last year. And the fact that there was one issue, they took care of it immediately, and thank you for having people on the ground.
Yes, we're so happy about
Yes.
that. We're very happy and we appreciate all the work that Ryan and Michael and Joy and Bethany and Omalola have been contributing to that. So that's my section on personnel and employee.
Yes.
I'd like to give a shout out to all those that put the graduation together, mainly, I guess, Rachel, Sarah, and, I'm not sure,
Rachel
you
and
could, maybe
Elise.
you can help me, Dr. Linder, giving recognition.
So, yes, and
all this together.
yes, and we are, thank you, and I meant to do that. Definitely, I don't have a complete list. I did send out a thank you. There was a thank you that went out. I put out a thank you on social media. I thank Amanda Nelson and Terrence Garcia and Kira and Jeff that helped with streaming that. We did have overflow. We were at capacity in the auditorium. And so we did have overflow in the nursing auditorium. There were a lot of staff that helped with transitioning people with that, but it also meant that we had that being streamed over to the Allied Health. And I talked to several people that were in that room that I saw at the Highlands commencement. And even though they were in the overflow, they felt like they could still really participate in that. So definitely shout out to Rachel, Lucero, and Alicia and Ida from the registrar's office, but a huge amount of support from Michael Montoya and Dr. Romero for putting that entire thing, thank you to all of the platform party and the shared governance and everybody that spoke, and especially the students, the 4 students that spoke, I thought was really valuable. And just, the flowers and the plants were beautiful. Having Jeff Gamblin and Jean Sandoval and Gloria recognized and doing the presentation of colors, and then recognizing the veterans, the 250th anniversary with the flowers in there. I thought that was a really, really nice touch. And Ryan did a lot of support. Leslie did a lot of support with that. There were a lot of staff that helped out with that. And but it was a great event, and we'll get a full list of that. And we don't have complete numbers yet because we haven't confirmed degrees, but Dr. Romero is going to talk about that a little bit in her report. And so huge shout out to everybody that made that possible and putting together. Rachel was really, really on top of putting together a schedule really early, making sure that we had everything there. We were supposed to have a debrief sort of process review at 9 o'clock this morning, but so they had scheduled that, but we had scheduled this early board meeting, so we will be having that. Thank you for reminding me of that.
And we also, I got a phone call saying the doors were locked, and I talked to you and you said yes, because the fire department requires that the doors are locked when we're over capacity. So I let them know that there was a reason. We didn't just want to lock them out.
Yeah, well, it was very, very nice. I really appreciated that. And then I Unfortunately, I missed the pinning of the nurses, and my understanding is, from the fellow board members, that that's very, very nice also.
Yeah.
So, another shout out to all those that organized that. But I also want to give a shout out to Ms. Leslie Ann. Thank you, Leslie Ann, for everything you do for the board. I know you've been so busy. She's been calling all the board members, making sure that we have this and that and dates and reminding us of whatever. And, making sure we have our gowns and everything there for graduation. But you just don't know how much we appreciate you, Leslie Ann, for everything we do. We recognize your hard work, but just keeping us all in check, you definitely are appreciated. So thank you. Thank you.
Trustee Ortega? I'd like to add, as chair of the facilities committee, that, Matthew Grego and his staff, they painted the parking lots and they prepared everything, the buildings, they did an excellent job, and they were at it for quite a few days. So everything was nice, everything was, they did really nice. Trustee Mendoza?
No, the strictly constructing of the,
Not strictly.
thank you, thank you.
My insight.
No, and I also want to thank, again, Leslie, I agree with you, because she's always in the background, so I really appreciate that, and I know she's our worker, so thank you. And all the support, of course.
Thank you for, sorry for the interruptions, Dr. Linder.
No worries. I appreciate the additional shout outs, and I was looking at my packet, and all that other stuff would be in May, but we definitely need to recognize it because it just happened, and I'm excited about all the work that went into commencement and the nursing pinning and all the work that's just everybody that's put in work this week for in-service week, and then also preparing for our representatives to be here today. So this is a really busy time for the semester, and I appreciate everybody's work that they're doing.
So next item is shared governance report, Ms. Mary Francis.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the board. I'm here to give the shared governance report on behalf of Crystal. She was a little busy this morning. But, Student Senate held their, Earth Day planting in April. We had several students who planted some fruit trees and some flowers and, some bushes throughout campus, mostly in front of humanities and student services. Our fruit trees were planted by the Adobe Model Home. Our student government officers went to a mental health awareness game with, it was the West versus Robertson JV and varsity softball and baseball games. It was an effort that, the student governments at both Robertson and West had put together as, White Out Your Worries is what they had called it. And so we were able to join in with them and help them with whatever it was that they needed help with. We also, for Student Senate, we also helped with graduation, with decorating the Allied Health auditorium and with the overflow in that room as well. Faculty Senate was currently working on their elections for the 2026-2027 academic year. And they plan to have one more meeting this week. And during this meeting, they will discuss their new senators for Faculty Senate. Staff Senate held their regular monthly meeting for April. They are working on ordering some T-shirts for all of staff. And they were putting together the campus-wide appreciation lunch for Wednesday, tomorrow. They plan to have bratwurst, hot dogs, some side dishes, dessert, and drinks. And they are planning to hold one of their first fundraisers in the cafeteria in June. It will be an indoor flea market and craft fair. Funds raised, it is $10 per table, for vendors, and the plan is they hope to have more fundraisers like this on a monthly basis. Our directors, they planned to, Sherry Goodyear, she's putting together the Summer Bridge program. And part of this will include a gardening initiative. And they plan to work on the greenhouse, and the raised beds in Springer. Miss Valerie had given us the report that the pinning ceremony was held on May 7th. And they were working on some book orders for the summer and fall for First Aid Complete. Amanda Nelson is working on creating flyers for all of the departments. And the town hall that was held in Mora, that both, Sherry and, Valerie had gone to those. And shared governance is planning to have just one meeting for the month of May. And Crystal did a fantastic job of planning in-service week and all of our meetings. And Sierra Fernandez with the assessment team, we are having a poster presentation on Thursday morning. And we plan to be updating our minutes and our agendas to the shared governance page on the website, so that way it is available for anyone to view.
Thank you, Mary Frances, but what you want to also talk about what you did for the athletes going to playoffs, what student government did?
Oh, student government, we had also bought in a bunch of different snacks, and we put together some snack bags, some goodie bags, and we had a couple of posters, one for baseball, one for softball, and we did a campus send off for both teams. Softball left Wednesday morning at 7:30, and baseball left Wednesday morning around 10:30. So we got as many people as we could to help send them off and to sign their posters. They got to take their posters with them, as the girls went to Nebraska and the boys went to Buffalo. And so everyone, the baseball players had, and the coaches, there was a total of 32 of them, and softball had a total of 19. So everyone got a goodie bag including the coaches.
Very good, thank you, good job.
Any other questions?
I don't have any, but you have any questions? I don't.
When is this flea market, indoor flea market on CD?
They have not mentioned a date yet, but I can get a date to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Next item, presidents, board of trustees updates. We start with mine. Executive committee. And we got some updates, and mainly those updates are included as action items in this packet for the board for today's meeting. We got a student housing update, and I think with other things that happened since Dr. Linder gave us that update, and you'll provide another update today. The enrollment also up for the different amount today, as I read in your report Sunday night. The capital outlay hearing, which is tomorrow. The employee updates, finance. Everything was submitted on time and it's all right, it seems.
I think that, you got an amendment of the budget amendment. Is this, Sharice, that you guys are gonna talk about today?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to give them an example of what it looked like.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you have questions.
All right, thank you. We can talk about that.
And the foundation MOU is still tabled until it's revised, right?
Yes.
And other updates, which was the luncheon, board retreat, we still need to plan that. ACCT governance leadership in August, board management software, board technology quotes for laptops. Presidency evaluation, which I have already given to you when I got here. And all the information is on there, and it's a piece of, it's great, it was on your table, so that's about it. Thank you. board audit and finance. If there aren't any questions or any additional information of executive, we'll go on to audit and finance.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, the financial summary analysis and budget to actuals was presented by Dr. Shields and his team. Does the audience have any copies of these notes, or do they get copies if they don't?
They get them.
We are currently tracking, I believe, at 63%. Is that the right number, 63? Should have been at 70, so we're at 63, Dr. Shields.
Are you talking about expenses?
Expenses, yeah,
62,
62.
close, or?
yeah, sorry about that. Cost centers and organizations with strong financial position with growth in fund balances, overall assets. Fund balance increased from 6.19 million to 6.69 million, showing healthy financial growth. Operational cash liquidity is a solid 2.5. Organizational growth 2 million certificates and deposits and CDs, and they earn interest and funds. Our student receivables, the SARS report show a net accounts receivable balance of 1.5. Most of the outstanding balance is about 92%, which is about 1.4, 180 days past due. And I believe that's being worked on by the finance teams. Accounts payable, report outlines the organization's upcoming financial obligations are totaling of about 1.72 million. Payroll is probably the largest obligation at 949,000. Payroll, compensation, benefits, professional services are about 10.2. About 69.8% of the budget. Procurement, I believe there's gonna be a full lunch in May 26, required training sessions for faculty and staff on May 4. Two phases of the audit are kickoff, initial reconciliations and planning. May and June, core testing, adjustments and compliance work. July is gonna be review, variance analysis and periodic cleanup. August will be finalization and audit ready packaging. We're still waiting back, I believe, on the 24, correct, Dr. Shields, for any. 24 audit, we're still waiting to see if they find anything.
This will, year 24 is continual testing at this time here, so it's sort of look at, you consider more like a jockey, you know, where you respond and give them what they want, and they find some more things that they want us.
Perfect.
Look at.
Expected outcomes of being reconciled FY25 books, document control and support. Staffing, we're looking at seeking to fill 3 key financial leadership support positions to strengthen physical operations and maintain academic and financial integrity. Other updates, board discussion with Dr. Linder announced that Community First Bank is going to donate t-shirts to all staff here at LCC. Discussion on making LCC a cashless institution. Talk about pros and cons. Discussion about the bookstore and cafe not bringing much money, which they never really do. Dr. Linder stated there's going to be more traffic to that area once we get housing up and let's share land. But the cafe being a convenience store as well. So she's working on turning that, once the dorms are operational, we'll be a convenience store as well as a coffee and stuff. Dr. Shields spoke about the $1 million debt Luna has. It's paying it. Let's go back 5 years with a third-party collection agency. Auditors will be stated balance and finishing up FY24. Dr. Shields is advising now working on FY25 to get us caught up. Conversations about separating the budget director and comptroller positions are in order, so. Action items, we have a quarterly report, a bank signatory update, and zero graphic report from our procurement officer, Mr. Justin Garcia. He has put forth that, I believe the previous Xerox machines, our staff was having a lot of problems with it, and they were having problems with it getting maintenance. His assessment was of approximately 47,000 in a year. This new one, I believe there's a short buyout, a small buyout. Mr. Justin, and I'll get him clarify on that, but the brand new Xerox machines that are gonna be put forth, approximately 37,000 with some software. I believe Mr. Garcia has some information about that for us. They're gonna have a one key state of the art printer. Is gonna be in the, I believe it's next to the president's office. And they will be controlling that with key codes and passwords for staff to better serve the institution and to keep the problem down. That is it. I believe the finance team did make a recommendation to support all of those three key action items, so. Anything has, any of you have anything else to add, President Linder, Dr. Martinez?
Nothing.
And we will be adding, Mrs. Rosewood to her bank signature, correct? So, thank you very much. That concludes my.
Thank you. Next is Board Academic Committee. Would you like me to report on?
Okay, so, we got together, we had a discussion. We were not able to have a meeting because we did not have a quorum. Trustee Sandy was missing and trustee Mandrano.
And remember that a quorum is only two.
Right, and I was
So-
so myself. Yeah, so we can't call it a meeting, it was a discussion.
And you couldn't approve minutes or anything?
No, so no action was taken. We just went through and highlights of what's going on. And most of them will be in the president's report. There wasn't anything really important that we could do at that meeting.
So the only question I have on that, and maybe Dr. Romero could answer that, is Moron is not gonna have a dual credit this year? Mora schools will not have dual credit this year?
Or can't speak,
Just,
or can't speak. So Dr. Linder said, you can't talk to you during the segment.
oh, that's right.
Chair for the question.
Oh, Michael can report for you.
I thought that Mora's not doing dual credit this year, so, I know some of the districts are reevaluating their dual credit processes for the upcoming school year.
Okay, thank you. They probably don't have a teacher to do dual credit. Anything else, Miss Rosalie?
I have a question to ask you, Ms. Rose, Madam Chair.
Yes. You're done?
Yes,
Okay.
Madam Chair,
didn't have a word yesterday.
Go ahead.
no. Madam Chair, is it a possibility that in the instance that as trustee Ortega came to a meeting and somebody's available from another, I know it's not in our bylaws or in our board policies, but you have board members traveling from hours away. Isn't there something that we can put in place, Madam Chair, that another board member from a committee getting out to at least step in and maybe learn that role as well? Is there a possibility to not?
I don't see how that could happen, because how can they make any informed decisions if this is the first meeting that they go to? I think it just falls on the board members that are on those committees to attend those meetings. That's it. That's what it amounts.
Again, it's communication.
You agree with me or you agree? No, I agree with you.
Well, you.
Unfortunately,
you agree
they
with each
just
other.
have, no, unfortunately, they just have to cancel the meeting. I'm not gonna go and sit in somebody's place when I'm not familiar with
Right.
that.
I wouldn't either.
I fully respect
Feel
that,
comfortable.
out of respect for somebody that's traveling,
I
doesn't
think,
get a courtesy phone call that they were gonna make the
Well, then
meeting.
that's up to the board members to contact the other individuals if they're not gonna be there.
and if she has already planned her day and she's going to be here, I think, I'm assuming she got paid for her time and her mileage. That's the only thing we can do.
So you probably
Make sure
you didn't have facilities either that take care of on it, yeah.
Mhm.
But I think it's lack of communication. I think the board members need to inform. I know I'm not gonna be there. I inform both of you
Yes, yes,
that I'm not gonna be there. And you've done the same thing.
yes.
So, but that's my take. It's not because
It was just a
we're
question.
ganging up on you.
That's
Don't
right.
you get up on me, I was kind of low, I was kind of low. Yeah, I'm all
Oh,
right.
I know.
I'm all
And it
right.
doesn't bother us either.
Once before there was four of us.
Yeah.
There's just two of you now.
There's only three of, well, there's four of us, yeah, but we're not ganging up anymore. We're playing nice.
Yeah, pretty thick skin, so.
We have to put you in your place one time.
I don't know about that, but-
Madam Chair?
Yes.
If I may, I wasn't there, obviously, I didn't attend the meeting, I apologize to the board and also to the staff, those in attendance. Also agree that, I don't think it would be appropriate for somebody else, another trustee to fill in that position based on information that, you know, that they're not, being just to fill in would be appropriate in my opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you, President.
We agree with you. What are your thoughts? I'll be here. Thank
And then what
you.
are your thoughts of other people?
Hey, you have to hire on your committee.
I have to,
That you share.
you know, unless it was like a standby that kept informed, that's the only way they can attend, but they would have to attend every now and then.
And the thing is, they can't, because then that would be violation of the open meetings, because there would be four appointments.
Right.
So, yeah.
Not if they're absent.
Yeah.
Not if they're.
Well, but if they're gonna stay in touch with the whole,
They can attend.
committee, all the happenings at some point, they can't attend that. I don't see how it could happen. So I say, good thinking, but not viable, right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, Sid.
so can I report now?
Yes. Now, if you could report on the board facilities. There's one problem I have with this list, which is informational, whatever. Is that Rolando Medrano and Andrea Sandy, it looks like they're absent. I mean, I know what they did here, they put present, but that gets lost in the shuffle. I think there has to be a place where it is noted that they were absent, just like in the previous minutes. So in the previous minutes, it says absent. So if you could convey that, whoever took the minutes, April Sandoval, that she needs to actually put it on the list where it says members and put us. Thank you. Otherwise, you look at it and you're not sure, you have to read through the whole thing to see who was. I think it needs to be on the list. Thank you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so I marked my minutes here to add absent, but, again, this was not a meeting, it was an information, get together. For the same reason, we didn't have a quorum, I was the only one there. And so we went on to listen to, Matthew Grego giving an update, because there's so many construction projects going and pending and so forth. So as you can see, they're doing a progress in the roofing, and I don't know if you saw them from the parking lot, they're at work today. And happy to see that. Let me see. We
Thank you
have,
for keeping us informed, because we wouldn't know there's a lot of that.
I know, there's campus-wide, 1,500,000, HVAC upgrades going on. Mechanical and electrical plants completed by Honeywell, coordinated by the Lincoln Region College staff, and then the New Mexico Higher Education Department has approved that project. We have, Honeywell as well, it was finished with the final engineering and began, installation. North Central New Mexico Economic Development District will serve as a fiscal agent. And, reservation date should be June of 2026. The LCC Allied Health Building renovation, the total for that one is $975,000. Let's see, the project remains in the planning and design phase. Engineering assessments and final measurements have been completed. Final cost estimates and scope confirmation are anticipated in May of 2026. And reversion date should be 2027. The nursing simulator renovation is at $800,000. The project has remained in a pre-construction phase. Engineering coordination is focused on mechanical, electrical, plumbing, integration, and code compliance. Construction documents are final and will be sent to New Mexico HED for final approval. Reservation date should be November of 2026. Emergency housing appropriation is $2,787,914. Project approval presentation at the May 2026 New Mexico Higher Education Capital Outlay Hearing. And that's ongoing, preventative maintenance and interior cosmetic upgrades across campus facilities. And that's pretty much what we got. But like I say, it was just a discussion.
And, project approval presentation is tomorrow, right? After the last, so it's not for the emergency help. Okay, and at any time, and this is for probably trustee Medrano, if you feel like coming to these committee meetings is an issue, let us know, because we have two people who are only on one committee. That's, trustee Portillo's, vice chair Portillo's, and trustee Hill. So if you need to resign that committee, and, you know, you just can't make it for whatever reason, it doesn't, conflict with your current schedule, let us know, and we can assign someone else. Thank you.
Noted.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
just a reminder, I will not be attending the June, executive committee meeting.
We know you have to go to
Yes,
Portugal.
yes, I'll be returning on my trip, so Leslie Anna won't be here, okay?
It'll be a quick
And
meeting.
so. And it's when you're gone, it's quick enough.
Hey, when I'm gone, which I actually knocked on wood in 7 years, this is my 7th, I have not missed a meeting, regular meeting or a committee meeting. Because, hey, I keep my schedule on my phone and I make sure I don't put any doctor appointments, which are many.
And also, just so you guys know, I reminded, trustee Sandy about the meeting, she completely forgot, she thought it was 10 o'clock, so she said to please extend an apology to the board and to the audience for not being here. She felt it rude to be coming in now at 10 o'clock. She needs to come in at 10. I already told her that, but she said no, she just felt it was unprofessional to come in and she just wanted to extend her apologies.
And her wishes, thank you. Okay, Dr. Linder, you're next.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Dr. Martinez. On page 21, you will see the start of my report. And I want to start with the student housing update. I actually just got the geomath, geotechnical engineering, the report that just came in. I printed it. I haven't had time to look at it, but we did get that report. We did get the final survey completed by Bohannon. And we put together an operational budget, and we actually, when you approve the budget on April 28th, that did include housing and dining services for that. We completed the narrative and operational plan, and we had a great kickoff meeting last Wednesday with all the stakeholders, including Palomar, for the modular housing, and so I think that's a great thing. We needed the final geotechnical engineering report, and that we did have the survey, and so we'll have another one of those meetings soon. Unfortunately, the Capital Outlay Committee decided that they would like to have a more comprehensive report that included sort of this geotechnical and some of these operational expenses, and so they did not approve us to be on the agenda at the May meeting. And so we think that being on the June meeting will allow us to get some additional information from Decker Architecture. They will be present at that meeting. And so I'm disappointed that we're not on the agenda for tomorrow. We do think that the housing will go forward at the June meeting. And I did reach out to Chief of Staff Gerald Honey. I have not had a conversation with him yet. He did tell me what his reservations were, but said that he would follow up on what he felt like that we weren't clean enough on. And so I haven't had that meeting yet with him, but we will have that meeting and we'll figure out what we're doing with that. But we do think that we can still make the timeline for the fall. if we could get the project approved in June.
So I just have one question, if you're finished with the student housing update?
I was gonna say, the other thing I was gonna say, and I did have a very brief conversation
That's
with President.
And talk.
Yes, so I had a brief conversation with interim president Leah last week. I just happened to run into her and she is, and we said that we would set up another meeting. They are willing to work with us on housing, and I'm not sure exactly what that means. I haven't met with her, but we are looking at that. We do have Super 8 in the background, I mean, as a backup if we need it. But I have reached out to her. She did publicly say that she was gonna work with us on housing at her forum last Wednesday. And so I have to reach out and have that meeting.
That's what I was gonna mention, is that she seemed positive to allowing Luna students to use the dorms for the fall.
Yes, so, anyway, so that's where we stand. And again, I think given the plans that we have done with Decker and what they're doing, I do feel like we will have a better plan. And so, the other thing I didn't mention is that I did put out a survey. They had asked a couple of months ago if we had shown that we had the need for housing. And we know we have the need for housing, we definitely know we have the need, but I did put out a survey last week to all the students to ask them about their needs. So I have gotten, well, as of yesterday afternoon, I didn't look this morning, I had gotten 23 responses from that survey. And I'll push it out again, but
And students really don't respond to surveys.
not very much. They
Well,
don't
maybe
respond
if
to
it was
surveys.
on Facebook and you told them, you have a free T-shirt if you respond.
So anyway, but you know, it's very difficult to put out an anonymous survey and then figure out a way to recognize people as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so it's a little bit complicated.
So, but another thing that I'm sure you've done is put together the data as to how many students were at the Super 8 and that, so.
Yeah, so we've provided all that information and they, you know, one of the things that Gerald Honey said is that prior to any student housing, there would be a full comprehensive feasibility study that would be done. And this is something we had talked about last year about doing a feasibility study. We had asked for money from the legislature on doing a feasibility study. We didn't get that funding. And then in the end, given our timeline, we just needed to move forward. And so, and I do think that Gerald Honey recognizes that we're in that situation. But we are trying to move forward with that.
Especially if it's a family member, you should drive from Santa Fe every day, right? And
Yes, that's right.
his family member.
So any other questions about the housing?
How close are we to the original dates?
I think we could still make the timeline in the fall. When I talked to Palomar, they actually have a whole bunch of projects. And if they can get a PO by the middle of June, we should be okay. That we had said that they needed a PO by June 1st, and we're not gonna get that. But they feel like they have a bunch of other projects. They can't start building our homes until fall anyway. And so in terms of the Decker, in terms of the geotechnical, we got all those, we made all those timelines. You know, my concern really is that there are people that don't want us to have house, right? So I think we've made a case for the need for it. I think that we've made a strong case. I think the State Board of Finance looked at all that and did that, and now we just need to make sure that we do our best job when we go to capital outlay. And I do think that Gerald Honey said he didn't want us to go and get turned down. And I think that whatever we can do to assuage all their concerns, we really need to do ahead of time.
And my biggest concern is us spending money and not gonna get reimbursed for it because somebody said, we don't need it, excuse me.
And they have to support it, but.
Yeah, I would think.
Chair, if I may, President, can you convey to the board, and I forgot to do that on my report, but you gave me that number in finance, that we put out minimum money for the housing. Do you have that amount with you, or should I wait till I got Dr. Shields?
So the amount of money that we had for the Decker engineering, I mean, the Decker architecture was 121,000. that includes not just Decker, but several wards under that. The survey, I think, was. I'm not 100% sure on those numbers. I think the survey was 14,000 and, I think the geotechnical was 10,000.
So we're in about 24,000.
150,000.
150.
140, and 141,000, I think, I have that number on the operational budget and I don't have that packet. But I think 141,000, I think, is what we, that we put out there. And so, I think that that's the total that we have said we are using our own funds for that we had gotten. I think that that's that number.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's important that the public knows and the people know where the money's going, so thank you for that, for everyone.
Okay, so if you wanna look at my packet again, going on 21, if there's no other questions on housing. There were a lot of meetings, just sort of working on regional and community partnerships. Thinking about, the Highlands University did pull together the local leadership, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen with this group. Given what's happened in Highlands, but we did have a productive meeting, where we're just looking and planning on meeting sort of quarterly. And thinking about ways that we can all work together. We did also have a joint meeting of the independent and branch community colleges. And there's talk about, just, we do put together our legislative platform that we put together is always in conjunction with the branch campuses and the regional universities, the CUP, Council of University Presidents. And so we have a meeting once a year. We had a great update from the Legislative Finance Committee. There was talk last year about funding, so they've been looking at the funding formula for schools for higher education for many years, and higher education did a whole study on looking at the funding formula, and people didn't like it really too much. But the Legislative Finance Committee had asked for funding for that, and they didn't get it, but they're still gonna also do an analysis of that. So,
President, do they put out a funding formula to the public? Is it?
it's available. Yeah, it's available. It's available on the website for how they do that. Everything's publicly available for that. Yeah,
So when you talk about that, it's about the dual credit.
well, they're also looking at language about dual credit because right now, higher education institutions bear the largest burden in terms of supporting dual credit students. But the money pretty much all goes to the PED. So there has been talk about this for years. They are looking at that for this upcoming year. It's something that's gonna be a topic at the summer hearings. And so we're following that and everybody's looking at that.
There was actually a bill introduced, but didn't go
It
in.
didn't go anywhere. Right, and so that's one of the things that we look at, and we definitely wanna have as many dual credit students, or we definitely wanna have as many dual credit students as we have that we can get. And support them, but we are funding them at a level that is not, we're losing money on that. So we also had a roundtable with Lano. That was a really great meeting that Dr. Romero and I did. We already talked about the Moore Town Hall. I do regularly attend the city council meetings, and so that was good. And so I was previously nominated to be on the Economic Development Board in the spring of 25, but it never met. They are gonna hire an EDC director, and so we'll see if that will get together. And we did sign the MOU with the Vowels Foundation. I've talked about this a little bit already, in terms of funding opportunities. We did apply for this EPA grant. We haven't heard about that yet. We did submit a proposal for the childcare facilities. And I think I put it in my weekly report, $275,000 was that final amount for that. And that will double the amount of 2- and 3-year-olds that we could take and bring up the capacity, I think, to 51 if we got that funded. So I'm hopeful that we'll get that, and I actually was waiting for some additional information. I had thought we would submit this request to Regional Development Corporation. We have the proposal written, but I didn't, I mentioned here because when I wrote this report last week, I thought we'd submit it, and then I still have some questions at the end of the week.
So I had a question, the status of the funding opportunities, but none of those have come through yet.
Yeah, no, we just submitted on, so the EPA grant, we just submitted on April 14th, and so I imagine we should hear by the 1st of June what's happening with that. I'm not 100% sure on that timeline. The capital outlay needs, I don't remember what that timeline is, but I think they're making a decision pretty quickly. We did hear, Dr. Romero, that we got funded for the adult literacy grant that Craig, two grants for adult literacy, but they weren't for those amounts, but Craig Bellows did that, and I'm just gonna say that, so Dr. Romero doesn't have to say quite so much. I think those are in her report, but we are continuing to look for those opportunities and see what we can do with that. We did not budget to fill Dr. Thompson's position at this time. And that is something we need to think about in the future, whether we did it, but we did not fund it for this current fiscal year. There is a lot of stuff that's come out in the New Mexican and the adult literacy program. This is something that's really, I don't know if you saw the report that came out, it has been publicly released about the survey for disengaged youth that got released yesterday. And what they are talking about is really using these adult literacy programs and also using adult basic ed to try to re-engage youth. And so a lot of the stuff that our program is doing, I think, is getting where Craig has done a great job with that. But what, $623 million or something they estimated?
Trustee Dominguez had a question?
Yeah, isn't it important? How many students can we hold at the childcare?
Right now, 40. Right now, our capacity is 40 and we have 39 students. But we keep one slot open in case of an emergency. And so we have capacity for 40 and we have a waiting list as well.
Are we looking at increasing those numbers if possibly?
To 51 if we got this funding.
And is it been helping now that the organization has made free?
Oh, yeah.
Free.
I mean, yeah, there's a waiting list, but there's a real demand for 2 and 3 year olds and we have a limited capacity.
And we have the staff to.
We would have to hire more staff.
And I think the one is to not have enough staff for.
Yeah.
for-
So TIC is really on that and looking at that, and the other thing that in the proposal, and I didn't mention this, so I'm glad you asked a question about it, trustee Dominguez. Is that one of the things that I had asked her about is could we also have some slots for drop-ins? Because most of our students don't necessarily need full-time care. And so they need it when they're in classes, and so in her proposal that she put together, the staffing issue comes in of doing that, but she did make some accommodations for drop-ins. Yeah, when they're in class. So, yeah, so that Tyson did a great job looking at that, so, I think that, I'm hopeful that that proposal will get funded. Anyway, I think with the disengaged youth, I think is really critical, and with our adult basic ed, but I also think that we can do a better job sort of reaching out to our students that aren't necessarily working, and I think whether it's in workforce or in some of our academic programs. I've already mentioned some of these things that have happened, and you do have the latest Luna Light. And you can just look at that. There's a lot of the things that are mentioned in my report are also captured. There's an article about the Mora Hall in there. There's an article about the Girls Can event. There's some great photos in there. So take a look at that. We also did have that regional map convening. That was really successful. And I think one of the things that is going to be a result of those map convenings is that everybody that participated, there were convenings all over the state. But what I've heard from the recording from the other presidents is that the map groups wanted to work more closely with the community colleges on the map and the requirements. And so those groups are going to continue. This wasn't a one-off. They're going to continue to meet together. So I think we all know how important that is. We did have a swap meet on the 18th. Last night I attended the final presentations. I had mentioned this UNM School of Architecture did this DPAC, I think is what it's called, presentations. It was held here up at Luna last night and for the community to look at those projects. And so that was a really great event. There were a lot of students involved in that, and we are looking to see what ways that Luna can be involved in the projects, especially those related to housing and workforce development. And so we think that there's some options with that. And I've already talked about athletics. You can go through all the different divisions. We've talked about this some. Randy's given a great update. The Wildfire Resiliency Training Center is trying to have they're gonna have Youth Conservation Corps students this summer with Youth River Source. They've been on campus in the last several years as well, but they lost their funding. And so the Wildfire Resiliency Training Center grants are picking up funding for that. That's on page 25 under the Wildfire Resiliency Training Center. And we do have additional classes that are gonna happen in Santa Rosa and also in Roswell with the wildfire and the correctional facilities. And so those are happening in June. And so I'm happy about that. They're finishing up the reporting. I think, thank you, Trustee Ortega, for giving an update of where we stand on facilities. Tomorrow, we are on the agenda for the capital outlay hearing for the nursing simulation expansion. So that is on the hearing for tomorrow. So we are going to and attending that meeting tomorrow. We have a lot of projects, and just to note, and Trustee Ortega mentioned this, the money for the Honeywell is reverting, but we can get an extension for that grant. So I wrote a note to make sure that we've applied for that extension, for that. I don't know if we can get extension on the housing. I'm just trying to make the deadline by December 31st for that. The wellness center has been very, very busy. So the people using the wellness center is high. We have looked, I need to think about that building. That building is really out of compliance for ADA. And there's just, the bathrooms aren't compliant for ADA. Dr. Shields had tried to use that facility earlier in the year, and it is not work. And so that has not been a priority. But I do think with housing coming on, I'm not, we have some other priorities in terms of what we need to do for capital outlay, but I would love to actually get some renovations to that facility. I do have a number of action items unless there's any other questions in my report.
I don't have any questions. Anyone else? No, but I would like to comment. I was mentioning to Trustee Ortega that this is a rather long report, and it's a very, very nice report. So I'll put together, very informative.
Thank you. Thank you. So there are several action items. The first one of them is the surplus. I think I've got it in the right order. Am I right? The first one that's there is the surplus IT equipment there. And so this is so what you're doing is taking action to approve us to, okay, do I not have? We don't have a recommended action, right? But that's okay. We didn't put a recommended action on the bottom of that, yeah? I thought, yeah, sorry about that. I thought that, was there not a second page?
On the memo?
Yeah,
No,
okay,
second
so,
page, but the memo does say to review and approve.
yes. It does say to request approval. The very first line says request approval for the disposal of this surplus IT equipment. And so it is 10 pallets of equipment that doesn't have any value. With that, we do have all the numbers for all of those. We didn't include that number with that, but it is 10 pallets. And what happens is that we would pay for these services, and the estimate for that is $15,274.25. And then any monies that they would get from the sale of that, we would get 60% of those funds. Trustee Dominguez, did you have a question?
Who's signing on? That's a local?
I'm not sure.
I've never heard.
Trustee Dominguez asked if the Iron Mountain, where they are located out of.
I'm not really sure, they're a nationwide company, so I'm not sure where they're going to take the equipment to begin with.
And this is their specialty, though.
Yes, it is. Secure disposal of equipment is, and secure storage of records are.
Thank you.
They're going for.
So we've already sort of taken out any we've already sort of decommissioned all of that equipment.
We decommissioned all that, any hard drives that are there, they will destroy completely and send us certificates of secure destruction after the fact.
Thank you, then I would like to entertain a motion to request approval for the disposal of surplus IT equipment. So, and a second,
Second,
and roll call. Well, she didn't.
Madam
so
Chair,
we have to
Dr.
stay
Phil
right.
Martinez.
Yes,
Madam Vice Chair, Lucas Martinez. Secretary Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sandy. Trustee Richard Hill.
no, she forgot.
Trustee Alonso Medrano.
yes.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Thank you. Next item is the graduate assistantship agreement.
Yes, and so the graduate assistantship agreement, so this is something we started back in 2024 for staff augmentation. Primarily, we're using this for Workday SIS project. We have requested the ability to also use this for operational staffing as available. Currently, we are using it for SIS projects, and we have 4 assistantships right now. And that are helping with that. And the board did approve to actually extend in December to extend up to 7. And for the spring semester, we were trying to pick up a couple other people, and it was too late and we didn't pick up anybody. But our agreement ends at the end of May. And so I'm actually requesting that we would just go ahead and renew this for an entire year. We've kind of gone back and forth several times, and so the reason, so we're requesting up to 7, right? Including 4 students, the current students that are working now, to work during the summer. Our work doesn't stop in the summer, and so definitely we need these graduate assistants, and we're really ramping up on the SIS projects. So the students are required to provide their own transportation to get up to campus. They do get their tuition paid. It's a regular graduate assistantship that they are paid out of Highlands University, and then we pay Highlands University for that. And so we did update, I didn't give a complete list of that, but we have updated, went through and looked at all the job descriptions, and what I provided in the MOU to Highlands University. The only thing I really modified was sort of our needs and making sure that we have that updated. I did, the reason that this compensation was in yellow when I sent this last week is because I had not heard from Ian Williamson, who was the associate VP, and he had a busy week last week as well. So, but I did hear from him on Friday or Thursday night or something, and he did say to go ahead and go with this amount, that was fine, and that they would, send back that MOU pending the approval from the board. So I do have a recommended action item there for us to move to approve these assistantships for the coming year. And the plan is to not exceed the cost of $160,000. And we may use that or not use that, but that's for that year.
So,
President.
Yes.
When do these students get benefits? That's just straight pay.
They don't get benefits.
can't get benefits because they're part-time.
Well, you can get benefits if students are part-time. I mean, employees can get benefits if they're part-time. But these assistantships, I'm not sure, if the GAs, do you know, Ryan, have benefits, or Dr. Romero, do you know what benefits they get for that?
See how they can.
They don't get typical benefits, but the benefit they do get is their tuition is paid.
Right, yeah. So I think that there are, like, UNM has recognized and their teaching assistants and stuff, they've looked at trying to get benefits, but these salaries that I'm gonna say that what we pay the graduate assistants at Highlands University, I don't think has changed in 15, 20 years. Yeah. So it's the same. What?
Change this year.
Yeah.
Don't skip.
So anyway. But they get tuition and fees, okay, which is a huge benefit. And they're getting a great working experience here at Luna Community College. It's been wonderful to have them.
I'd like to entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, the motion to approve the recommended action item. Continuation of the NMHU agreement to employ NMHU graduate assistant to supplement Luna existing employees in the workday SIS. Implementation and assist in Luna operations, May 11, 2026, May 28, 2027, not to exceed 160,000. That is my motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
And roll call.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Savi. Trustee Rolando Medrano.
Yes.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Okay, and then my third action item is the O'Rourke Media Group. And again, this is an agreement that we've had since 2022 to support our marketing outreach and enrollment efforts. O'Rourke Media Group does own the Las Vegas Optic, but they have a lot farther reach than just local. And I have included the campaign report in there, and so that gives you that results of that campaign. So I did include that.
President Bender, didn't you state that they had wanted you to go with the more expensive one? You felt that the $6,000 one would be adequate. Can you state that?
Okay, yes, thank you, Trustee Dominguez and Madam Chair, Dr. Martinez. So, I mean, their job, the person that we're dealing with is the VP of sales, right? And so they're always gonna recommend that we would go with a higher package anyway. One of the things that was in a higher package is that if we went with $10,000 a month, we could actually get on TV. That is something that I think would be nice. I did think about that.
We're on, TikTok.
But yeah, we're on TikTok. We're on TikTok, and yeah, there's a lot of videos on TikTok. We're on different social media platforms with them. That is very extensive, and if you look through that report, I'm happy to go through any of those numbers with you. But we did decide, you know, we have diversified out. We do have radio ads that go all to our local, our regional radio stations, and we have agreements with that. We're looking at other ways to do marketing. And so what we looked at in terms of our budget is that we felt like, let's try to work on this one more year and assess in another year and see if we need to spend more money. And I think one of the things that I said at the executive committee, I think that they have showed that we have got a lot of results that are coming, a lot of people clicking on our website. We are working forward on our new website. I think with our new website, that's gonna just increase. We spent, you know, money on that. So we decided that this year, this is what the recommendation is. However, I think that what we need to work on as a team is capitalizing on the traffic that's coming to us. And so having the new website and fully staffing our recruitment and admissions would help with that, and fully staffing the centers and looking at that would help with that.
President, Bender, one more question for you. Does O'Rourke Media Group do their own data analysis of who's clicking and who's doing all that, or does Luna have somebody that's doing that so we can validate checks and balances that
That's working.
it's working? Does that make sense to you?
So thank you, Trustee Dominguez. That's a really great question. So we meet with O'Rourke Media Group, and they give us this monthly report. They actually send a report also to Michael Montoya that gives them all that. And so all of the data, so that when you're looking at the Google searches and we get that, and who's called and the people that have called, Michael gets that report every month as well. And so we have a group meeting that includes Dr. Romero, Michael Montoya, Tanya Giddings, Amanda Nelson, Terrence Garcia, and myself. But we do follow up with that, and we get that report. So they do that analysis now. We also have, I didn't know all these terms, even though I've been on Facebook for a long time, but we also do organic. So our Luna Community College Facebook page where we posted the graduation and that's really organic social media. That is, Amanda does that. And so, but what we're talking about is their targeted social is, and when I first started, I said, I never see those ads. And they said, well, you're not in our demographic. And I said, well, why am I not in demographic? Because I would want to get it, you know, I might want to get a degree. And so what you have to do is you have to find it, look at, and now I get them all the time. If you click on one and
Yeah.
like one, you will get that all the time. But when I first started and took over and we're getting these reports, I'm like, I don't see anything. I don't see any of that. And we talked about that because Chris, you have to click on those things.
Right.
You know, I did that. I just bought a gift, you know, for my grandson. And then that's all I'm seeing now is where I bought that from on Facebook. And so that follows you. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm just glad to see that we have a checks and balances.
Yes.
And as you know, data entry is only as good as the person
yeah, absolutely.
implementing it, right? So I
Yeah,
can
so
do it
Google
anyway.
has those search, so they have that all automated and Google has a really. Most of the information that we get and probably the most useful information we get is from people doing Google searches. And it will tell us whether they filled out a form, it'll tell us whether they called, it's very, very powerful. So, but what we're proposing is that we keep with the same, they actually proposed slightly different modifications of that, but the same basic price.
Modifications to our benefit.
To our benefit, yes. Then, for instance, let me mention that, for instance, what we have been paying for is every month we've had a preferred business article in the optic. And we have paid for that every month and now we're gonna go to quarterly for that. That doesn't mean we can't do press releases, it doesn't mean we can't have, there's another thing. But in terms of being listed as a preferred business, we're gonna do that just a quarter, and I think that that's a good move. And then we can still do some other things, so we're looking at that, I think we've got several years of having monthly articles, and I think those have been beneficial and really gotten our programs out there. But we're gonna be a little bit more strategic about that and work on our press releases as well, now that we kind of have the staff to do that.
Previously, I used to always mention that the best PR we had in the optic was the baseball and softball game pictures. And usually a big spread in the last sports section. So we've missed that. So maybe at some point you can have the coaches find one of the players or somebody to do a little, just a little short story like each month before.
Yeah, we've talked about that and we have highlighted them, we highlighted them in January, coming up with a preferred business.
They're not here.
So that's because we just played this last week.
Okay.
So they will be in the next one, we just got this data, so we thought about putting them in that, but we thought that it made sense to put it in there when we knew the playoff results, so.
Plus get lots of students interested.
Yeah, no, we have talked about it. This is a conversation that I've had several times with athletic director. And right now, he has not had the person that we've dedicated to that, and that is something. I have passed that on several times, and that is something that I really want to see in the sports sections when we have that, so.
President, here, one last question for you. So does Mr. Montoya have authority to assist a your work group as to what's working as out by the modifications were made? Because when he does data entry on his side over here, he sees what's working and not working and he makes adjustments. Is that?
Well, I mean, he's in those monthly meetings for us. The reason he's getting that report is because he oversees recruitment and admissions.
Yeah.
So he can, yes, so he can look at that and do that and see if we're following up, and that's one of the things that having him involved is just making sure that we are following up with all those needs, and so he can lead his team.
Thank you.
Trustee Ortega?
I was gonna recommend player of the week. Whoever scored or beat off or.
No, I think that that's one of the things, and Coach Crutch absolutely understands the importance of that. When I talked to him about the stats that he provided, and I don't know if everybody saw that, but,
It was the thing in your report,
well, his stats that he put out yesterday,
or was it an email?
it was an all staff email from him. And it was really impressive, and so I did ask him, and he has been very, very intentional about tracking since he's been here. He went in and looked at all the records and looked at the archives and looked at that, but we did set a new school record. and with 25 wins for the season, a school record of getting a season, we were at 500 at 17 at conference play. We swept 4 schools this year. We also had, we were first in the conference for at-bats at 1665, third in the conference for runs 466. First in the conference for hits 606. Doubles first in the conference 121, third in the conference for triples 18, home run 73, first in the conference, runs at bats. So this is stuff he can verify with the Region 9. Third in the conference, extra base hits, total base hits. So that's really nice. They finished 4th place. So one of the things that I have talked to him about, and Tanya's gonna work with him, is how do we get that out regularly every week in the opt-in, right? And I'm gonna say that one of the things that Randy told me when I was doing his evaluation is that he's never taken any sick leave and he has never taken any annual leave. And I told him in his evaluation that he needed to take annual leave. So,
To go on vacation.
and that he needs to take the time, and so he is working 7 days a week nonstop. And so, and so I do want that to be.
GAs could have.
Well, and I did ask him that. I said, do you have money in your athletics budget to get a GA that could actually do that and have a sports information person? And so that is one of the things, if he has that, and so that is one of the things that we could do and pay for out of athletics. So I agree with you with that. Thank you.
Thank you. So then I would like to ask for a motion to approve the agreement.
Chair,
I'm sure.
sorry, just a minute, just a minute, go ahead, sorry.
Take a motion to approve the agreement or work media group for marketing and communication for the year 2026 and 2027.
And a second,
Fiscal year for the amount of 72.
sorry,
Second.
and roll call.
Chair Dr. Nicholas Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair Luis Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sandy. Trustee Richard Beadle. Trustee Rolando Medrano.
Yes.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes. Okay, next up is Dr. Romero, but I would like to ask the board to read her report. Take these 5 minutes, read the report and get questions so that she doesn't have to go through it all.
Okay.
Because it's hard for her to speak right now. Don't worry, we'll have you make up for it next meeting when you can speak. But for now, if you could take 5 minutes, read your report and mark your questions. I have some of the questions that,
I just need to stand up.
yes.
Check your hand. That reporting template, I want that, man. That's a good check, bro. I'm going to yours is stupid. Check your hand. It's mine. It's a really good.
You know, some patterns. I have one. You, could you laugh?
With my original, you spoke to me.
Yeah.
It was the other day. These are things that went up to the right.
Yes, this is, yeah, so that's.
You guys did your own assessment on what it for to.
Very proud.
I must give that one away in my office.
Well, if somebody goes to my house, the battle bridge, but Gary Bridge. When I was teaching, I used to get 100, I remember one time I had 100 little cats, they all of them had to turn off the lights. I don't have students in class, they don't want to cross the bridge, I don't know. It's, no, it's made out of cement. But that's okay, I still have food in case. About one of. I just. Okay, I'll give you 3 more minutes. Actually, I'll give you 2. I have 5 minutes.
Oh, well, I'm see. Just get your mom not meeting that's for next year. Who's going to be so far? But if you don't have a chance. Thank you. I don't know how to, we're not done. Did I find out everybody told us? And then I'll invite the people that are here. Yeah, well, but now I have to, yeah, and any of the other, yeah, well, there's, but they have it set. They have all set to the and then the other, I mean, it's something.
Questions for you, Dr. Romero?
I'll wait, I'm not finished.
No, I'm just saying, I don't have any questions. I'm speaking for
Well,
myself.
let everyone finish.
I'll speak for myself, Madam Chair.
I have, it's in my person. 5 students, 5, 6, 7.
I have to comment, Dr. Romero, that
Can't concentrate.
I get a lot of complaints sometimes. But he's tested, and
Oh, wait, trustee Dominguez, let me have, trustee Medrano finish and then we'll start with our questions. Are you good? Trustee Ortega? We're good, trustee Portillo?
I'm done, but I have questions.
Okay, then go ahead, you can start with the
I
question.
just want to comment on something, Dr. Romero, and I think you'll agree with me, maybe you won't, doesn't matter. I get a lot of comments, questions on the TEAS test. Why is it so hard? Why, I had this conversation with Dr. Linda already. Why is it so hard? Is there another one you guys can do? And or my kid failed it once, twice, and I said, well, look. To us, the Luna has the best nursing program in the state.
Right.
More importantly, you have someone's life in your hands when you leave Luna Community College, if you pass your boards. So I feel that if you make it easy for them, the real field out there in the nursery room is, it's not easy. It has to be a tough rigor for our students because you have someone's life in your hands. So for that, I will never ask to go to a lesser test or to make it easy. I think kids have to have some investment and have some stake in the game. Have some sweat equity, whether it's books, reading on late at night or whatever the case may be. So I'm glad we have it. And people can frown on me for that, but that's okay. You need to step it up and people need to work hard to get the perseverance. So thank you for that.
I'd like to comment.
Yes.
Also on that. That I was the employee with Luna and then became the director of Luna. We had a very, we still do. But the nursing program, it was top of the line. And we had this one, I can't remember her name, I know I've seen her face and everything, but she was his group, and Diane Medrano and Luella Mark and Toya, and were really instrumental in that program. And they set students at a high standard. And there were some students, because they could only accept, I believe at that time, this is many years ago, like 20 students, right? And so there's some of these students that they missed it by maybe 1 point. She would not bend, even if it was 1 point, she did not bend. Because you have to prepare them for a positive outcome, for excellence, because once they go on, they gotta pass those boards. And you, in order to pass those boards, like we say, they're very difficult. That's why they help them at a higher standard. So the students, unfortunately, that didn't make it, they're out. And so they have to go on for something else. But a lot of the students, and I say this proudly, a lot of the students that did not make this or make the nursing program, they went on to Trinidad State Junior College. Their bar wasn't set as high, and they never had a problem passing students. I think they just, passed them all, I guess. I don't know. All I know, there were several at that going on to Trinidad State Junior College because, the list was too difficult. But the standards were set very, very high.
And actually, that happened just recently, didn't it, Dr. Lee? And sorry to say, but it goes on the students.
It goes on students.
And if they can't, and Dr. Romero, everybody tried to do something to help that group. So there would have been more graduates, but it is what it
It
is.
is what it is.
We had 24,
And,
correct?
and you have, as a student, you have to do the work.
Nursing graduates, we had 24, correct, Dr. Romero?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Just
Madam
now,
Chair, thank you.
just now.
Trustees, Madam President, thank you for that. Our program is rigorous because we need them to be able to understand what it means to take the boards, and the boards are just as rigorous. So it's not an easy way out in our nursing program. It really does test the ability of our students, and I'm proud of the rigor that exists in the nursing program and continues to exist. So thank you for that comment, Trustee Dominguez. And that's important because we are not just, training underwater basket weavers. We're training nurses.
I even had one constituent call me and tell me that that grade needed to be changed for this particular student, and I said, how would that happen? That is not anything we can do with our authority, I said, and neither can anyone else. It's the student's responsibility to meet that level.
Just like, Secretary Dominguez mentioned, you're putting, yourself on the line,
Life and
putting
death.
people's lives in your hands, and yeah, it just.
And we
It is.
understand students will become emotional about it,
Mhm.
so will parents and families, but at the end of the day, we don't have this standard to just pass anybody. This standard
Right.
is set to be able to make sure we're producing the best quality nurses in our healthcare system across the nation, not just in New Mexico, but wherever they go.
Wow. And you're not making sure that you're not setting them up for failure,
And the constituent told me, what good is the board?
Oh, wow.
And I said, not to change grades, that's for sure.
One thing I'd like to finish with, if I may, Madam Chair, is,
Yes, and then I have questions, and I think everyone else.
as you know, Dr. Romero and anybody else knows in this community that students that pass the nursing program at Luna Community College and then go on to pass their boards, once they put on the application of where they went to school at, they scoop them up fast.
Yes, our graduates
Just
are
so you know.
most definitely
Just,
the most well sought
Sure you
after
are.
nurses. They sure are.
sure you know that, but they're scooped up immediately, in the emergency room, whatever the case may be, they're.
I would agree with that. Yes.
Thank
I
you.
do want to say, just to start off before everyone starts their questions, in relation to the request that Trustee Dominguez made last board meeting about campus life events, you have received a reporting template that was developed by Mary Francis, who oversees our campus life, so I'm thankful to her for providing that information. This continues to be updated as things happen, so this is just running up to April. As things continue to go on, and this is something that we continue to track, especially for co-curricular assessment as well, to help us in our HLC accreditation process and, establishing our co-curricular stamp on what assessment is at Luna as well.
You foresee any future being a campus like Dr. Romero, President Linder, do you guys foresee maybe this next year, maybe taking some students in a bus to the driving meeting?
So
Is that probably been discussed, right?
we are definitely exploring additional options, especially because we will have house. So there needs to be further campus life events to engage our students on campus. If they're living here, they need to really have an enjoyable experience and a life here. So we're working through those things to be able to determine what would be the next best steps for us to deploy for our students as we continue to work through the housing project and get that launched and be able to also kind of figure out what the students like. The good thing is Mayor Francis has a great relationship with her student body. So they express to her the things that they're interested in. And so those things are not off the table. Everything is really on the table for us to figure out how to increase the vibrancy of campus life going forward.
And also helps sustain our community.
That's correct.
So, I mean, I know Highlands used to do it at one point, I know when the Highlands was in college, but, food for thought, thank you.
Trustee Dominguez and Madam Chair, and Sharice, I don't remember this number because we just did that as part of the bar with the. The Highlands University, the students pay $75 campus life fee. That goes to support all those different activities. We do have money that goes in to support the student government, which is a percentage, is that, I can't remember how that, for groups and what was that money that we transfer over?
We did a transfer of.
$25,000, I think, so the amount of money that we have, and I think that we could definitely do more and think about that, but. It is not, we don't have a campus life fee, and I think, I'm not suggesting that we do have a campus life fee, because I think that. There are a lot of, I don't wanna add any other additional costs to the students, especially for those students that couldn't take advantage of that. But that is something that we don't have a ton of money, but I think it was about $25,000. Mary Francis, do you remember what how much budget you have for student government and clubs?
This last year, we had $10,000 for our budget.
How much?
10.
10,000. But that doesn't mean we couldn't go to the drive-in, I'm not saying that, but I think.
We, like I said, we are evaluating what those campus life activities will be in the future. Understanding that that is a component to positive academic outcomes as well. Socioacademic integration for students is important to their success. It's their social life tied to their academic life is an important aspect of their retention and their persistence as well.
Thank you. Let me start with trustee Medrano.
Any questions at this point?
You know, okay, and, trustee Ortega.
I like it. I like that you could coordinate something like that. Possibly the theater in Santa Fe. Or roller skating meeting, something that the students can bond and just like you say. Move forward. Social life is very important to me.
Thank you. Vice Chair Portillo.
Yes, I have a question. So do you all still do barbecues and what all this like during registration for each semester or maybe the fall? Cause I know they used to have for staff, but then they also have something like for the students. Is that still taking place or no?
So we're doing something similar for orientation in the fall, but we don't do it at the beginning of the spring.
Oh, okay, but in the fall.
We did have a barbecue, but campus-wide barbecue.
Oh, good, yeah. Okay, so I have another question, but this isn't regarding the students, and I should have brought it up when we were doing the shout outs earlier, recognition. But Dr. Linder and Dr. Romero, I know this month, and I think probably the end of April, was professional month. We've been recognizing everyone, our secretaries or executives, the nurses, probably custodians, I don't know, there was just so many of them. Were the staff recognized here? Did you provide a luncheon or whatever to recognize staff for their hard work?
So we have a lunch tomorrow. We have an appreciation lunch tomorrow as part of the staff, and we're giving certificates out as well as that. And we've also talked about the need to have more, just what you're talking about, just really decompression time. And we've looked at the calendar and we decided that we shouldn't try to do it right. Even in service week, it's really a busy time. Everybody's trying to do that. So we're looking at something in June. But tomorrow we are doing an appreciation and we're doing certificates on that. And in terms of, there have been nursing, a teacher appreciation. So that is something that we haven't coordinated that on a campus, on a institutional wide basis, but I know that Tyson recognized her teachers in early childhood. I know that the Nursing Association, they put out information about Nursing Association, different things, and so pretty much whether all the bosses remembered their admin, professional assistants day, I did happen to remember Leslie. Even though Ray also reminded me, but I already had remembered. So, whether everybody got remembered, I'm not gonna ask Ryan publicly if he got remembered.
Yes, yes, she did. Yes, she did.
So, anyway, but that is something we definitely wanna make sure that we're fully appreciating everybody, and this is such a busy time of year. And we don't wanna forget doing that, and oftentimes, we sometimes do just because it's such a busy time of year.
Thank you guys so much for doing that. This is so important that they are appreciated for all their hard work and dedication that they give to them. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, the lunch for the employee recognition tomorrow is for all employees?
Yes.
Okay, so the email goes out to all employees.
Why are you asking?
Because I just had a question, and just a thought.
I don't
So-
have a way to not invite all employees. Now, do all employees read their email?
That probably
No.
not.
Did all
Like all
employees
the
get
board
the,
members.
right,
sometimes
did all of our employees get the in-service schedule that has that on there?
Probably
Yes.
not.
Did all the supervisors, were all the supervisors told to make sure that they're included? All supervisors were told to let everybody knew that. I will say that we have people all the time. And even me, I miss an email that says, did you see that? And I say, no, I didn't see that. So I can't imagine. And so our people at the campuses, Stacy, Emily invited, they always know that they're invited. And they actually participate in the campus-wide meetings that we have very, very regularly.
Thank you.
All of our people on there. We've got some people that are out and we have some positions to fill, but, I don't wanna exclude anybody, but I'm not gonna say that somebody's gonna say, I didn't know something about it, and it is entirely possible that they did not, so if you know somebody that thinks they're not invited, please invite them and send a personal invitation.
Except it's not within my authority, but all in.
Thank you.
Trustee or Secretary Dominguez?
Madam Chair, I just have one more, thing to bring up with Dr. Romero. Dr. Romero, you know, you guys do these things for the campus life and stuff, and I don't know when we're gonna be doing one in the summer for students, a barbecue of some sort. But let me know when you're gonna do that, and, I'll be readily available and able to help sponsor and support kids and feed them. I'll even come and cook.
Thank you for
And
that.
I'll eat them all, while they're getting off the grill, because one thing I like to do is work and eat, so.
We
Let me know.
appreciate it.
But let me know, and, I don't know if it was against any information or anything, Madam Chair, but sometimes.
I don't think so, it's a donation.
Basic principles for me, so.
You're not getting anything back but a hamburger, I guess.
So keep in mind.
It's not more than $50.
Right. Trustee Ortega?
I have two things to comment on. Being on staff here, when I was working, we got a pin every 5 years. The employee that was here 5 years, they got a pin, the 10-year and so forth. And so they were recognized that way. Everybody was recognized at one point or the other. And the other thing that I noticed at graduation, everything was beautiful. But I was disappointed in the staff that attended. It used to be in the contract, when you were an employee, that you had to be at graduation, unless you had like a sick problem or some personal. But it was in the contracts that they had to
It's in the contract.
represent. Yeah.
It's in the contract. We did have, I will say, I didn't see Leslie at all that day. But she was working her butt all over again. And so there were people that were over in the overflow. There were a lot of people, I'll get a total number. In terms of the years of service and that recognition, that is something we've talked about. That is ever since I've been here. That is something that I wanted to say. I know that we used to do that.
And Highlands does it.
And Highlands does it. We are happy to say that we do now have an HR director that I hope is gonna stay and is doing that, but our changes in leadership in the HR department and not having an HR department and that whole switch over every year I say, okay, that's something that I wanna do next year, but we do. That is something that we would like to do, is recognize those years of service. We do recognize the years of service, just at this meeting, I will say. How many people have worked this many years, how many people have worked this, however, we haven't done a pin, and I think it would be really wonderful. I appreciate that suggestion, trustee Ortega. And I'm hoping that we could do that next year.
And it was also nice to see that certain shirts, they were recognizable, I don't know, that was very nice, I don't know who thought of that or who did that, like that was.
Rachel and Michael, I don't remember.
Very nice.
And they had that nice, yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, I thought that was a good suggestion. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So any other questions besides mine? Okay.
Oh, you have an answer?
Oh, no, I haven't asked. On page 40 of the adult basic education, and I'm glad to see that they're doing a lot of stuff, because for a long time, I think that department was stagnant. There was kids out there. One time I came to a meeting, some kid came running up to me and asked me if there was gonna be classes for ABE. This was before your time, and before the time of Craig. And how did I know? Anyhow, yeah, there was a lot of issues at that point. But it's good now. The weekly outreach at the senior center, I guess what they do is go out there and talk about getting their GED. What do they do?
So the outreach to the senior center is literally adult literacy based. So go and talk to people about adult literacy items that they would like to see more of. They work with them a little bit closer on their adult literacy skill and development for those who are interested.
Thank you. And then on page 41, the annual nursing fair was here on site.
It was here.
Nice to see that there were 16 clinical opportunities for employment. And on page 43, the graduation, 127 graduates. Do you have a final count?
I have a final count, Madam Chair, members of the board, Madam President. We had 117 applicants for spring graduation. 10 degrees were awarded in the fall 25 semester. Of those 10 awardees, 8 of those students showed up to the ceremony on Saturday. 114 students officially participated on Saturday. There were over 1,200 guests in attendance, including in the MEC and the overflow space that we had available. And 8 of our students of our graduating class were dual credit students.
How many were they? 8?
8. They were from West Las Vegas, Robertson High School, and 1 homeschool student.
And there was one from Morehouse. I recognized it.
He was into a dual credit student.
Oh.
This semester.
He received 2. He's gonna graduate from the school, and he graduated from Luna. And I know there was another one that graduated from Highlands and graduated from Luna. I think in the past, we have always recognized those students separately. And I was a little disappointed that they weren't called on, because can you imagine, it's hard enough to have one graduation, but you have to prepare for 2 and 4 years, 2 years, whatever. Do you have a list of how many those were?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
I think we
Yes.
have some Springer, correct?
I need to account for something.
Maybe you can just catch up your dinner, send it to us. Cause I think Rachel probably had it.
This is the information from the registrar as it stands as of this morning.
Yes, that would have been nice to recognize them. So maybe put some notes out for the future for next graduation, that we make sure we recognize those students that have that accomplished 2 degrees, 2
Right.
terminal, whatever, whether it's high school or college or Luna, whatever. Yeah, they did last year. So altogether, there were not 127 that actually finished. Not went through the graduation, but finished.
There is no definitive number for that, Madam Chair. The degree awarding process is not yet begun for the spring semester, so that number will not be available until potentially the June meeting.
Okay. Okay, so there was 117 that went through the line, though.
140.
140. Okay, and
So I think you said, just to clarify, 117 students applied in the spring and 10 students in the fall, that's where that 127 came from, but only 8
Of the fall.
from the falls and the 8. Yeah.
And I don't think I had any other questions. Are there any other questions from anyone else?
I have one. Okay, Dr. Romero, can you please provide the board with the update on what's going on in spring?
The staffing update,
Or
I don't have one in my report because I don't have one in general. As Dr. Linder mentioned, we are working through revising the job description for the Springer Satellite Manager to be more reflective of the needs of the institution as we move forward. What we don't want to do is just fill the seat with someone from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. We want to be able to have some flexibility in terms of ensuring that the person who is out there supports the recruitment efforts, our workforce development outreach, our community outreach, and also supporting our programmatic things that are happening during off hours. And so Michael and I have been working through that job description to figure out what is the best way for us to work through filling that position and getting that position filled with the right person. I'm never a fan of just recycling the same old job description for folks. I think that we need to ensure that if we ever have a vacancy, we review them and make sure that they are in fact, we're asking for what we actually need in terms of that role. So we hope to have that posted in the next week or so, once we finish our final edits and send them over to Dr. Linder. In the meantime, my office, as well as Michael and various other departments are working together for staffing as needed at the satellite when we need it. We are currently supporting the request that came in from Colfax County for their voting, because we have been a voting site for them for many years.
forever, I started that.
So, since what we're doing is we're working through that with them to provide them with the necessary staffing for all of the days that they need, because it's not just the day of voting, it's some other additional days. And so Michael and myself and Ryan have worked through and gone to Springer and staffed the center, and the satellite hasn't needed when we need to.
So you're telling me the satellite's closed right now?
Satellite's not closed, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is that we are working through staffing between our.
So are they going every day?
So we're not going every day, but it's not all of us that are in Springer every day. So we're coordinating the staffing between our department and other departments to have open, especially including the birthright mentorship and the after school.
Okay, I'm still confused because if it's not every day, the doors are closed,
Well, the doors are not closed. So Sherry is there in Springer, which.
but not 24/7. She's not there all the time.
No, it's never there 24/7.
So I'm just asking, is there like posted hours?
So
I'm not asking that it's closed.
Right, it's not closed, so I've posted hours the last time I went in to be able to assist a student who needed classroom space. So I provided that information to her. Sherry has been assisting us with opening the center on a regular day, Monday through Friday 8 to 5, unless she can't be there. And the times that she can't be there, myself, maybe Montoya and Ryan have also visited the Springer satellite to provide the support to the community when needed.
So is there a sign on the door or the calls being forwarded to different
Yes,
departments here and are they being
yes.
answered?
Yes, they are.
I just want to make sure there's coverage.
There is coverage.
Thank you.
They're being forwarded to me now.
Are they? Oh, thank you, Ryan. Good. As long as, you know, 'cause I don't want to get complaints that the place is closed now this week. And nothing's happening. I want to be able to answer.
Yeah.
What's actually going on.
We have the need that it comes up, we will definitely
Good.
respond.
Thank you. And then I did address one of the concerns about the voting, with Dr. Linder. She took care of it last week, so I appreciate
They
that.
were, when I checked with Dr. Romero, they had already had, when I talked to her, we had talked to that. Dr. Romero was already communicating with the person.
Yeah, because the county clerk, the deputy county clerk is the one that called me, and then we set up a call with Dr. Linder on, last Tuesday morning, and so to get some answers. Because they were wondering what was going on, because the place was closed. They weren't getting calls or.
Dr. Romero had been communicating with the county, what is it?
County clerk.
The county clerk's office. So she had already had communications with them. And so, yes, we are working on that. Our facilities is working on that, and we're gonna make sure we have that coming.
And that's where I first thought was made aware that the place was closed, that's why.
That was an assumption, ma'am.
Thank you.
And we also have to remember that these people, these office managers, that the satellites and the sites, not only do they have to do Luna stuff from 8 to 4 or 5, whatever, but also county stuff, because for community. I know Stacy opens the building at 7 o'clock for people to have meetings there, et cetera, so it's a very busy place in Nora that I know of. Cause you go by and you see cars there all the time, so.
And we can expect the same thing in Springer too. And that's the reason why the job description needs to be tailored to the needs of
Yeah,
the institution and our community.
And I thank you for that, Dr. Mer.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments?
I just said, that for a minute, the, page 50 of the narrative analysis. On the percentages of the, in the presentation, have we seen an increase from last year, or have they changed?
But, page 50 is the finances, so she wouldn't be able to answer that.
Okay.
That's.
I think you corrected then,
Yes.
I apologize.
My apologies, Mr. Medrano, that I cannot answer that question. I would love to have my
Save your voice.
Yes. Okay, then, discussion action item, senior discount tuition costs. And let me read this for you, or if you want, I don't need you to read it because you're running out of voice. This says to ensure alignment, this is on page 47. With the New Mexico Administrative Code, Luna Community College proposes the policy updates detailed in Exhibit A. Because institutions of higher education must operate within the scope of state mandates regarding senior tuition, these changes are necessary for legal compliance. Should this request be approved by the LCC Board of Trustees, this change would be effective fall 2026. This proposal has been vetted across our shared governance structure. The Fiscal Office, Faculty Senate, Curriculum Committee, and Shared Governance have all reviewed the changes and provided their recommendations prior to this presentation to the Board of Trustees. The motion is to approve senior tuition classification policy to align with New Mexico Administrative Code to ensure institutional compliance with state mandates. So the next page 48, dear respected leaders, this request for revision in the 2025 catalog on page 2025-2026 catalog on page 13 under tuition is out of alignment with the New Mexico Administrative Code regarding senior tuition rates. In an effort to ensure that LCC is in compliance with the law, change will need to be implemented. The proposed revision are listed below in Exhibit A. In Exhibit A, it says what it says in the current catalog, persons who have reached their 55th birthday by the third Friday of classes are eligible for senior citizen discount. But in the law, it says persons who have reached their 65th birthday by the third Friday of classes are eligible for senior discount, senior citizen discount. Any questions? So we have to go from 55 that we had previously to 65 to comply with the law.
I'm gonna miss out then, Madam Chair, next month.
Yeah, you
Maybe
are.
I'll go 10 more years. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
And it's still $5 for you. And it's still $5 per credit hour. Up to 10 credit hours.
It's a lot, right? I don't know. It's
It's the law.
So,
That's
yes,
correct.
the
You missed when I was.
change.
I had it in my head from the meeting.
Yeah.
Like elephant.
Any questions?
It's just to put it
Okay.
in
And trustee Ortega, motion to approve.
Second,
Okay. And roll call.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Luis Cornelius.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sapi. Trustee Richard Miguel. Trustee Rolando Medrano.
Yes.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions of, VP Dr. Romero? Okay, then the next item will be, CFO Dr. Shields. And you already have one question? Post.
Good.
Also, should start with that.
Shield is ready. Would you like to reiterate the question, please, Dr. McDonald? And I mean, Mr. McDonald.
Quick question. In reference to the committee meetings,
Yes,
we have scheduled one back to back, so one of them's at 11:30, and the other one we have scheduled at 1. But we wanted to move it up, maybe possibly documentary suggested for 1:30.
can we talk about that in the last item that it talks about announcement of date and time? Because
Absolutely.
we also have to talk about changes to the committee meeting for June.
Okay,
So we'll talk about that.
you got it.
Dr. Shields, did you want to answer the question or do you want to give an overview first?
Well, I always like to try to get an overview and see if that can possibly answer the question.
Okay.
However, at the, I'll always, well,
Good morning.
trustee. Let him, get his question on the board, but you're absolutely correct. Good morning. Have a great day to be able to come before you. And, like to go ahead and get started.
Are you okay with that? Trustee
Oh,
Miller?
yes, okay.
All right, well, first of all, I'd like to say, I'd like to, apologize, I don't have a introduction, page, to you. As well as a conclusion signature, but I would like to say, I am glad to say I have my read reports here. Mr. Reese Sanchez, Mr. Jessica Garcia, Ms. Jessica Duran, I'm here to, further support me or armor me with, additional information for the support as needed. Going on to our report, starting on page 50. The narrative analysis that shows a strong emphasis on core academic delivery and institutional operation. Structured institutional support together presents a strategic backbone and organization mission, infrastructure as it pertains to its business. And what here we're trying to show here is a breakdown of those expenses and a little summary, support, indicating their percentages. But what I would really like to share with you in more direct is on page 51 as my summary or key takeaways, as I put it. This budget distribution illustrates an institution deeply focused on academic delivery and operational stability. High investment in instructions and institutional support assures that classroom programs, administrative structure, and campus-wide system remain strong. Student-facing services and campus operation receive substantial support, while auxiliary and community service areas operate with lean budgets and relative to their functions. So that's the basic summary that I would like to open up and ensure that the operation of the college. Are there any questions for that? Or did I possibly answer your question? If not, I'm open, sir.
I think, my question was, from that, did this percentages deviate from last year much? Is there much, Shields? Is there?
I really couldn't answer because the type of reporting that I'm doing now and what was presented last year does not match up. So it'd be very hard for me to be able to give you a clear indication of that.
Thank you, Dr. Shields.
And I have just one question, student-facing services. That's on page 51. What do you mean?
For student-facing services, yeah, guess I come up with my own type of,
You're like, past
I
president
created my
Bush,
own type
then-
of,
past President Bush that created his own words as he was reporting.
What's that?
So this is just student services.
that's.
Okay, thank you.
What's that word? What was that word? Dr. Shields, that bachas or?
I can't, I'm so stuck up in my nose, and,
Anyways, all right, this.
you know, I get to go in and roll in some,
No, this is over.
Or just the context.
Nobody had heard it, so.
Okay.
Just kidding.
I like where it says leading budgets.
Enhance your vocabulary, huh?
Yeah, that's good. It's the usable word. Any questions about page 50 or 51? Okay, then if you continue to page 52, Dr. Shields.
yes, ma'am. Now we're dealing with cash, dealing in particular with the fund balance and cash management. I would like to go start off with the second paragraph where it states the funds demonstrated healthy growth during the reporting period. The fund balance stood at $6,190,049 at the beginning of the month, increased by over $765,000 to reach $6,955,938 as of April 27, 2026. This positive trend reflects effective financial management and favorable market conditions. Next, I will go into Community First Bank. And there I would like to start off with that first paragraph indicating that the total available cash across various operational accounts is $2,593,092.34. It's broken down in detail, account activity, $169,194.98. General account, $1,744,421.59. Payroll account, $679,475.77. Going into the investment portfolio, we have a count of one of our 52-week CDs has a principal balance course of 1 million and an interest rate of 3.45%. Maturing on October 29, 2026. Accrued interest on this account currently stands at $2,649.93. The next one, which was a 26-week, the CD with a principal balance of 1 million also. It matured on April 30th, 2026, having earned an interest rate of 3.70, accrued interest of $2,842.21 before maturity. We reinvested this on April 28th. And that 1 million will be at an interest rate of 3.20. I would like to share with you other investment periods. 1 week or 18 months was interest rate was only 2.45. It's best for us to go ahead and take this 52 weeks, which is 26 weeks rather, for the 3.20, and hopefully it will be in a more favorable condition at the end of that period. So a total amount of cash investment at Community First Bank is $4,598,584.48. Going on to Southwest Capital Bank. If there's no other question for community, excuse me, I don't want to jump ahead.
Yes.
Dr. Shields, on that reinvestment activity on that 1 million,
Yes,
what's the penalty on that if we need it?
Kevin,
I get that from the foundation a lot, they say they reinvest here, they do a high market investment, but they never state penalty or percentage.
I will get with that.
But
I have a rough idea, but I rather not say that and let that go into record. But I will get that information and share it with all the board members before the conclusion of the day.
You don't need to do it today, just do it for our next finance meeting in June.
But I just want to make sure you have the information as soon as possible. As we're into Southwest Capital Bank Holdings. The general account has $1,406,330.90. The investment account has two CDs at $500,000 each. One of them is at earning a 3.15 interest rate and has a total interest totaling $3,116.36. Second one has an earning interest rate of 3.35, and it has a total earning of $3,314.88 for the total cash investments at Southwest Capital Bank of $2,412,762.14. Our total consolidated banking and investment assets, $7,011,346.62. Are there any questions regarding our cash and investment holding?
I just have one comment that I'm really happy to see the current status of the funds. We're in excellent position, better than previous years.
Yes, ma'am.
And the only issue, of course, is the audits. So hopefully we get that going so that we have excellence in all the areas.
Yes, and in fact, I do have the first week progress report from productivity to share with you
Yes.
As well when we get to that point.
Other questions? Trustee McDonald?
This is accrued interest, this are annually, we're talking about an annual basis?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Anything else from the board? Then continue, Dr. Schiller.
Yeah, the next report is our cash handling. And this here shows the cash handling dealing with some student receivables, bookstore, the cafe in particular. And also when it comes from the students, a lot of it sometimes comes from cosmetology and nursing as well. But this is a more comprehensive report. The key metric status, if you see in color green, is the ones that I guess I like to point out and give you an average monthly total through the first 10 months of the fiscal year. And it gives the highest month as well as the lowest. The total entries for the 10 months, average entries per month. And I would like to also share with you the cafe credit card with that CC mid. It's a little off center where it should be over its grouping, which is right to the right there. So I do apologize, and I just couldn't quite group it. But I'll get it corrected by next month. All right, the next one is our budget performance, budget to actual. This year represents the current financial position. The institution's in a strong financial position year to date with total available resources at 18.7 million, which is 9% of the budget, and expenditures at 11.8, 62% of budget. This has produced a temporary operating surplus of approximately 7 million and the ending balance of -6.96 million, which is 5,233,000 above budget. Now, if you look under revenue performance, Revenue collections are at 85% of the budget, slightly ahead of the straight laced pace, but still 2.1 million below the plan. Now, under the bottom line, as I would like to point out, revenue is expected to finish near budget overall with some internal variability across categories. Under expenditures, the spending, of course, is at 62% of the budget, well below the expected 83% pace for this point in the fiscal year. So bottom line, saying that total expenditures are expected to finish below budget even after some late year acceleration. That's on page 56. On page 57, you have your actual budget. The actual, it gives you all the details of the approved budget, the actual difference, and also the percentage of actual versus budget. I give you a second, whatever time that you feel needed to review that.
Questions? Good
All
to
right.
see, it's good to see that athletics isn't in the red, because I remember years back, we had issues, 60,000, 50,000 in the red. What's it called?
All right, on page. Sorry.
Actually, Jessica voted for it there. But they didn't have enough money in the budget at the beginning, I think what happened. Well, and then you'll spend. Yeah.
All right. If we can continue on page 58 on the cost centers. We'll see that our unrestricted budget has been utilized at 80.4%. The restricted budget has been utilized 72%. Going down the financial snapshot. Gives you showing your unrestricted budget, total budget is 18.8 million, actuals 11.77 million. Commitments is 3.35 million, remaining 3.69 million. Restricted total budget 3.38, actuals 2.02 million, commitments 41,000, remaining 95,000. As we go on to page 50, I would like for you to look in particular, go down to halfway down where it says cost center explanation for expenses exceeding budget allocations. And what I would like to emphasize there is as you turn to the next page 61 and you see the categories that are in red, the explanations for those are represented on page 59 and 60. And I'll give you a few minutes to review that.
Good. Good, that's it, what's that, how you doing, Sarah? How's the message? Oh, she's fine, she's right on top. She's trying to hang in there.
Keeping your health up.
Gotta keep up,
Give me help and keep me straight now. Sure, it's the second one that's the
The problem.
as a husband, you do as I say.
Dr. Shields is sure he's gonna be giving a presentation as well.
Is who?
Shirley's gonna be giving a presentation as well.
No, there's no budget that's being presented this time. However, if there is some detailed questions regarding the budgets, Ms. Sanchez is here to give any qualifying detail information.
Yeah, but for our meeting at finance, there was no additions, and then today we get this.
This is just what, this is not, internal. Internal. These are budget, you had requested a report. We think we did not, this, not, oh, that. I put on this, yeah, we're still on the same.
Okay, also in a continuance on page 61, which is the restricted. 62 is the restricted budget and also the representation for the there as an address.
Dr. Scholl, I was a little concerned, and maybe the rest of the trustees are too, regarding the bookstore services. That's quite a bit of money, a loss there. And that's both the bookstore and the cafe de Luna.
That was exactly my question.
Yeah.
I have been road committee.
Oh, really? Yeah, so,
I thought quite possibly we might have talked about this. I can say fully addressed. At least talked about this previously. One of the challenges is that the salary for the personnel that's in the bookstore is one of the heavy expenses that exceeds the profitability of any sort that would be coming from a bookstore. And until we get more activity, now I personally think that when we get housing on campus and we have more students that are here on a full-time basis, you'll see that that will increase and will not have as much of a lump sum. Maybe we might even have a slight problem. But now with so many classes being online and we don't have the amount of students that's on campus every day, it's very hard for a bookstore to really have a solid performance.
Just a reminder on this, and if you look at the explanations on page 61, there was an error on the bookstore last year in the budgeting that we didn't budget for. I mean, that's not all of it, but we didn't budget for benefits in that. Oh, and so that's one of the reasons, and we can't move money. We corrected that at on the budget amendment request, but you couldn't move that money because it's an auxiliary into that money. So that isn't something we could fix. This year, that was just something that we didn't catch last year. Is that correct, Dr. Shields?
That is correct.
It's like a golf course, so it's chair. Golf courses for others don't make money, they're always in the bed.
right. But I'm just wondering how we can offset some of those costs. It's like the cafe that, that's 4,000. Is that a monthly thing that we're taking a loss every month?
No, that's not, that's total for the year.
Well, that's for the year.
Oh. You have the,
I just finished talking about baseball and softball, and then I'm.
Yeah.
Overall, getting off.
Too soon. Trustee Ortega?
Yes, I'd like to address, Los Alamos National, Laboratory. What is it that we have there? It's actual 342, $1,750.75. And if you look down at available balance, it's minus $233,047.
which line item?
It is, well, it's page 62, and it's CC 5205 10. Los Alamos National Laboratory. What is it that we do with it? Or maybe those land.
So, that's the landlord grant. Do you wanna say something about why that is not?
So that's the Latin grant, and what happens is they usually send us an updated budget. So when they do that, the person in charge of grants, which is Luis Vaca right now, she will go in and do a budget amendment to correct if they give us more money in the grant. So right now we've spent more, but when we bill them, they'll give us money to adjust those expenditures.
So this money is coming to Luna.
That's correct.
Correct.
So in other words, we have to pay first and then we'll be reimbursed.
Yeah, and what is it that it covers? What can that money be used for?
Welding.
Oh, welding, okay. Good.
Thank you, Ms.
Have we ever had an issue that they don't pay us back?
Art,
That's always been pretty,
yeah.
thank you, sorry.
If we move on to page 63, student accounts receivables. We have a total gross outstanding of $1,618,777.60. We have credits of $101,789.20 for a net of $1,516,988.40. Below there gives a breakdown between 30 days, 31 to 90 days, 91 to 180 days, and of course, over 180 days, which represents 92% of the outstanding account. If there are no other questions regarding student accounts receivable under accounts payable, we have a expense report reimbursement of $857.50, student financial aid allocations of $457,205.69. We had a payroll of $949,161.13. Supplier vendors was $315,346.55. And board of trustee disbursement of $2,181 for a total summary accounts payable for the month of $1,724,751.87.
Not too bad for the board, huh? 2,100.
The scan in line. We're doing a good job.
Well, our budget got cut, so.
What was do a what?
If we can move on to page 65 on my payroll.
You're right wrong.
We had a total spending of, for our first 10 months. $10,289,000 versus our budget of $14,733,000, which represents 69.8% used. All categories are running under budget currently. Compensation is at 80.7%, projected about 3% below budget by year end. Benefits of 63.4% spent, which is projected going to be around about 24% under. Professional services at 52.5% spent, which is at 37% under. Down below, if you get down to the categories, I break down exactly the amounts that I was sharing with you with a little bit more detail of each one from the compensation, benefits, professional services, and totals. You'll get a chance to review those as well. Share with you on the following page gives you on page 66, gives you a budget for compensation and benefits and professional services, month of April. And then also for the compensation, April, through April 26th for the year to date.
Yeah.
Continuing on page 67, under the procurement department, like to share that that's always one of our, of course, very active departments here, but I would like to go down to the third paragraph starting to get to more of the say the meat of this of the situation. In our continuous pursuit of operational excellence and efficiency, our procurement director has spearheaded an initiative to streamline our purchasing procedures significantly with invaluable assistance from Cassandra Bill, the Career and Technical Education Administrative Assistant. Comprehensive framework of new integrated procurement process has been developed. This fourth framework, which has already been circulated campus-wide for initial review, introduces a pivotal change. All ordering and subsequent invoice entries will be managed exclusively by the procurement department. The centralization is projected to significantly reduce overall processing times and optimize the management of purchase orders, fostering a more strategic use of resources rather than reliance on blanket purchase orders. And so the primary objectives of these refinements are to achieve several key benefits, which is listed down here below. I also have Mr. Garcia here to answer any detailed questions regarding this process. We add to your review of the procurement department, the following page on page 68 has a monthly procurement report of the $15,000 or more.
Hard to read, it's so small.
Yes, ma'am. However, if there's anything that you can't. Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Could you come forward and address in detail this report here so that they can get some clarity as it pertains to.
Sure. So on the $15,000 and above work, the timely telehealth, that one was actually canceled. So I just wanted to leave it on there to let you know from the meeting that we had that it was still active, that was canceled, it was duplicated. Next, we have the Reliance Steel at $29,456.95. That is welding supplies for the students. Next, MBS Direct, that's the bookstore contract at $22,660. And then finally, Daniel DeVell, he's a wildfire resiliency instructor. So the purchase order itself is for $15,000. Those blanket purchase orders, the invoices come in, so we have $15,000 set aside for to make those payments and
For billing,
submit those.
so he's not getting $50,000 a check.
Not every check, no, just, that's the amount of the contract, so as he submits his invoices, we pay him off of that.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia, is that 29,000 for the building, is that getting paid back by?
That's the grant, that's the,
Yeah, but we're putting that forward and then the Salamos is paying it back.
yes,
That's part of the,
of the land grant, yes.
is that what we're going through rough, the estimate monthly on $29,000 worth of that?
It's about that much.
No, not,
Or
not,
per month, but that's what we're doing with them is we do a blanket purchase order. That's another thing that we're looking at is trying to get individual orders in at a time, so the amount of the purchase orders is not so big, so what we have is a blanket purchase order, so the instructor can, place these orders as he goes without having to wait for that, process to go through, the procurement process for every single purchase order. So if he needs materials or supplies, he can contact, Granger or Reliance Steel, and place those orders and receive it sooner rather than, waiting for the purchase order to go through and, all of that process.
Is Reliance, something you guys put forward a minimum amount of order before they deliver?
I'm not sure on that, how that
They,
works.
they used to, I don't know if they still do, they should do it, like I said, but you have a certain amount, and then now with the fuel rates
Right,
and stuff going up, now people are getting used to charging delivery fee, and now they are, well, of course, it's already embedded in the price of the planet, correct? I mean, people could say it's free, and people eat that up like it's, yeah, because it's always embedded somewhere, so I'm just curious to that, but
I can find out for sure for
no
you.
worries, no worries, thank you for the report today.
Well, in the finance committee, I had asked for someone to report about the status of the welding program, because there's been some questions, some issues, some concerns. So I'm assuming, Dr. Linder, that in June we'll get a status report from the CTE director as to the concerns that we brought up.
so. Thank you, Madam Chair. I did relay those concerns to Dr. Romero and Dr. Torres and Karen Torres. And those are personnel issues, and I will not be giving a public report. on
No, they're
personnel
not.
issues.
I specifically asked about the money that's being used and some other stuff that's
So you
discussed
had-
in the
you had-
committee.
You had brought up some things about instruction and some different things that were happening in that. And I did, and so we will, we are looking into that. That is something that we are looking at those program and. If we want to do a deeper dive into welding, that we can do that.
And I'll go back to my notes from the finance and I'll send you an email.
Okay, thank you.
You let her read it up. Don't be
I'll
like,
try.
don't be like Mark and go looking up.
Okay. All right, I'll try.
But, I went, it was
Conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
6-1, right?
Right.
Hey, thank you for doing that.
Order.
All right, if there's no other questions regarding procurement, we're going to, our fiscal year audit 24 and 25. I would like to, share with you, as I've shared a little bit earlier, we're in the testing phase when it comes to fiscal year 24. So as they come up with various things, we're responding. And that's about the most in depth I can give you as of right now. But I would like to move on to fiscal year 25. On page 69. I'd like to share of course, the purpose is to ensure our accounting areas are fully reconciled. Audit ready for fiscal year 25 for the external audit. And this is by productivity equipment where we inspected from them. So below you have the key phases, critical work streams, and expected outcomes. And the following page has a graphic, graphs rather, of those time periods that I was addressing. I would like at this time, Ms. Sanchez, are you able to, or Mr. Garcia, pass these off, I know our ankles, so. This here will be an updated report of first week of May from productivity. This is just for information. And necessary discussion. I'll give you a few minutes just to review it. We can move on. I will share with you, if you look at the challenges and discussion points, those are the things that I focus on most of them. As well as the accomplishments. If I may, we can continue on to page 71. Unless someone needs some additional time for any reason. I'd like to share with you staffing. As the earlier report, we're looking at three pivotal roles. Sure, the finance department, which is the first, our budget director position, the comptroller, and accounting technician. And below each one, you have a summary of their basic responsibilities and expected outcome.
And at this point, there aren't any applications, or there are some?
There are applications, and I will be starting interviews the latter part of this week.
And that's for all three?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions on the board?
All right, I'm sure that concludes my actual
right.
report. Next is the action items, which I'll
So, I would like to entertain an action item to approve the quarterly financial actions report for quarter 3, 2026.
Chair. Make a motion to approve the quarterly financial report.
And the second,
That's
and roll call.
Sure.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Luis Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sandy. Trustee Trujillo. Trustee Rolando Medrano.
Yes.
Trustee Rosa Ortega.
Yes. And if you can explain, C, bank signatory,
explain what now.
the, bank account size signatory,
Okay, yes. We're looking to add,
page 74.
yes, ma'am. page 74, we're looking to add and retain authorized signer onto the bank account. This action formally requests authorization for Rosalie Cruz to be added to the college banking relationship with Community First Bank of Las Vegas, Mexico, and Southwest Capital Bank of Las Vegas, Mexico. This authority will enable Rosalie Cruz to approve banking transactions necessary to support the college strategic financial goals. Given that both banks require board approval for any changes to authorized signatures, we respectfully submit that this request for your consideration and formal approval. This authorization is crucial for the efficient and effective management of the college finances. The request, of course, is for both Community First Bank and Southwest Capital Bank for Rosalie Cruz as an authorized signer. And required action.
Motion from the board.
Madam Chair, if I may just say that this were reviewed in the finance subcommittee, and it was recommended by the finance subcommittee to move this recommendation forward just for information purposes.
So,
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
We add the following individuals as authorized as a signer to account to the Community First Bank and the Southwest Capital Bank, the local institutions here. They should usually will have the authority to approve release to the file created by the TPSP. To initiate the file for online banking system.
I'll second it.
and roll call?
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez,
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez,
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Snappi. Trustee Richard Miguel. Trustee Rolando Latrana,
Yes.
Trustee Joseph Ortega.
Yes.
And then the last item.
The last one is termination of Xerox Corporation contract and award a contract to Pacific Office Automation. Purpose. The background is to request board approval to terminate the current multi-year agreement with Xerox Corporation and enter into a new 5-year service agreement with Pacific Office Automation at $30,710.64 per year to ensure reliable printing operations on campus and satellite locations. Now, the background justification is, on January 31st, 2023, the college entered into a 5-year contract with Xerox Corporation for 30 units. However, consistent issues with product maintenance and untimely replenishment of consumables, owner in particular, have hidden administrative and education operations. Now, following the evaluation of available vendors in February 2026, Pacific Office Automation Inc. was identified as the premier solution due to their localized support model and superior cost absorption strategy. The financial impact of proposal, the transaction offers a streamlined cost structure, eliminates the financial burden of the remaining Xerox commitment. And I would like Mr. Garcia, if he could come up and respond to any detailed questions you would have in this transaction.
Trustee Dominguez.
Madam Chair, if I may, colleagues, Justin Garcia, I want to thank you for this presentation to the finance committee. And you put forth, how it initially started at X amount of dollars, ended up at 47 for your assessment and went to all the different areas and sites of printers. The software will limit excessive print in order to do those assessments, but I didn't get in your report, unless I'm reading it wrong. Mr. Garcia, what was the buyout amount to get rid of that other company?
The buyout amount is $34,461.06.
Section nine.
Okay, but I didn't see the buyout, I just had legacy concept, I apologize for meaning Xerox, so that's what we're gonna have to pay him. And then pay an additional
We won't-
30,000.
No, we won't have to pay that. There was a promotional, contribution from, Pacific Automation to cover that.
They're gonna pay it for.
We're gonna pay it. So we're not,
We'll get it on the backside, I'm assuming.
right, as soon as I get, terminate I'm able to make a contract with Xerox, it'll then be.
You can give us-
Final bill and.
Can you give us an update on that at your convenience?
Definitely,
Yes, so
yes.
they can inform, if we can put it out publicly, what money was spent, and I think we've given enough reason why as to why we need to go away with this, and I think you stated there was some overages on their part, that and the colleagues don't know, and the people don't know the overages that they were charging us, and ultimately the taxpayer paid for it. And, you know, subsequently, you've done your part in assessing that, and I appreciate you for that, and so thank you for
But I
that.
think by implementing that software is gonna save us a lot more as well, so I'm looking at, probably 10,000 at least savings on printing.
Again, thank you for your assessment, and thank you for putting this numbers forth to the taxpayer, because it ultimately is their money, and I wanna thank them.
Thank you. Any other questions? Then I would like to take a motion to approve the cancellation of Xerox Corporation contract and authorize the college to execute a 5-year agreement with Pacific Office Automation at $30,710 a year.
So moved, Madam Chair.
I'll second it.
What's that?
She already read the
Oh, that's a,
motion.
oh, yeah.
Yes, quickly. Otherwise you have to read it out.
Madam Chair, Louis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Porfios.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez.
Yes,
Trustee Andrea Sandy. Trustee Richard B. Hill. Trustee Rolando Medrano.
Yes.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes. And the next item is elected official recognition special guests, and we're gonna be doing that here. No, we're doing it here. Oh, and then we're gonna go to that tab. Perfect. So are they coming in? Yeah, so yes, it's Terrence to do it. They're here to do what? When, to come in. Thank you for asking. Before they come in, could we talk about date and time of the next BOT meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so regular trustees will be Tuesday, June the 9th, but the executive committee and the finance committee will have to meet instead of June the 2nd, which is election day, we will be meeting on June the 3rd. Same time and place, because we have one of our trustees running for office, will have to move it one day.
That's on the 3rd, you said?
Yes.
yes, is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, well, it's only going to affect Louise, you and I. And it's not gonna affect you because it won't be here, right?
No, I thought we had brought that up, like, did we discuss that the executive?
Yeah, but
Yeah, we did, but have to make it something. And maybe that's what you.
Yes, but I believe I said that one.
We're gonna go down to
That's what I should, we would have to.
Okay, but anyway, that's gonna be June the 3rd. I'm fine with this election day.
and then Madam Chair,
Well, you'll just let it.
Madam Chair, if I
So,
can.
wait, let me ask, Rosalie, you had a suggestion earlier?
Well, we talked about it last week because we didn't have a quorum, I came here for the 11:30 meeting. Well, we didn't schedule the other, we were on schedule for the other one at 1, but, two of our staff have their lunch right in there. So I sat there and waited until 1 o'clock came so we could have that other meeting. The other documentaries suggested moving one of them up Tuesday, 12:30.
Okay,
That would give us,
that would be, which one, academic?
Yes, and let me add, it's all fake.
Yes.
3 people going to those meetings,
Right.
so we just stay and take care of it and we're done.
Okay, so the academic would be at 12:30 and the facilities. Let's see, at 11.
Madam Chair,
Is it 11:30 to 12:30?
is it possible for the other people to be flexible with trustee Ortega in retrospect to maybe every other time they either have them back to back or separate the lunches and both of them can give and take, is that a possibility? I trust your bigger wants that, I'm just looking at a standpoint from having to travel, right?
Well, this is why we're trying to get it together.
That's what I'm putting it out there, so it's only
Yeah.
informational,
So
but
she doesn't have to wait an extra half
that's
an hour.
exactly what I'm saying.
So we checked with academic committee and Dr. Romero and Ryan's schedule, and they're fine to have it start at 12:30. So it's
Well done.
not
Back to that.
back to back. Yes, Dr. Romero.
That is fine, I'm just looking out and being courteous to people that's male and female, and I think we need to,
Male or female.
you know, whoever it is on the board and having to travel, that's the only reason why.
We are happy, Madam Chair, members of the board, President, we're happy to adjust our schedules to meet the needs of the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Romero, that's all I'm asking for, some
So
flexibility.
then everybody understands, Leslie Ann, did you get that? Of course. We're changing executive committee and finance from June 2nd to June 3rd. We are doing committee, academic at 12:30, facilities at 11:30 on June 2nd. That will not need to be changed.
Oh, you can.
Do you want to change?
What is it?
We only need to change ours because he's on those two committees. And
Okay,
he's a candidate,
so we can stay on the second.
you can stay on the second.
That's fine.
Okay. So on June 2nd.
Motion for
Okay, so, back to number 13, elected official recognition special guest. We want to welcome you guys.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Dr. Martinez. Thank you. Today, Luna Community College is honored to recognize several distinguished state leaders whose support and advocacy helped advance the college 2026 capital outlay priorities and strengthen opportunities for students across northern New Mexico. I would like to extend special recognition and sincere appreciation to Lieutenant Governor Howard Morales, who was not able to make it today. In the end, we thought he was going to make it. Representative Anita Gonzalez, who's here with us today, Senator Liz Stefanix, Representative Joseph Sanchez, and Senator Pete Campos for their continued support of Luna Community College and our legislative priorities. The support we've received from our elected officials has a direct impact on our institution, our students, and the communities we serve. Their advocacy helps strengthen educational access, workforce development, student success, and long-term regional growth throughout northern New Mexico. I have certificates for you, and I don't know if maybe we can have, I don't know if I should come out. I know I'm on the mic and we're on Zoom. So maybe Dr. Martinez, you could go and present certificates.
Or they could come up and that way we can,
And then thank them. That
yeah,
would be
we
good.
can thank them personally.
Yeah, so we do have, and I will just go ahead and read, we are presenting certificates today for your support of Luna's LCC 2026 legislative priorities and your support for creating opportunities for our students and community, and we honor your leadership and contribution. And so, first of all, Representative Anita Gonzalez. And Anita Gonzalez proudly serves House District 70 and has been a strong supporter of Luna Community College and Northern New Mexico communities. During the 2026 legislative session, Representative Gonzalez recognized Luna Community College on the House floor on Luna Day. That was nice, and helped highlight the important work taking place at the institution. Her commitment to education, community advancement, and student opportunities continues to make a meaningful difference. Representative Gonzalez. If you want me to do it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love this. Way to go. Yes, I know. Well, it's a test. It's a test. Oh, yes, and we also have this gift for you. Representative Gonzalez, we have this gift right here. And in honor of our Luna Athletics, we have a softball jersey for you that we have with Anita Gonzalez. Put it on.
Yes.
If you're desperate to do that, we'll talk to you. Put it on there, so thank you so much, and here, we'll stand, I should really come down, we'll get a photo after.
Okay,
I'm gonna hear it on lunch. All right, and Senator Elizabeth Liz Bannock. And so, Senator Liz Bannock serves Senate District 39 and has dedicated many years to public service and advocacy on behalf of New Mexico communities. She has consistently supported initiatives related to education, healthcare, and community investment to strengthen opportunities for students and families throughout our region. Luna Community College greatly appreciates your support. Thank you so much. We also have a jersey for you that is in a. And you wore the appropriate, you wore the right color, good job. And so, yes, and so we have this jersey, it's so awesome. I did not get one, but we're happy that you got one.
It'll go in my capital offer, so please.
Okay. We also do have a certificate to recognize the work of Tommy Giddings. We're fortunate to have had Tanya come work for us starting last November, and we put her to work immediately, working on the legislative session. Tanya Giddings is also actually an elected official. She served 10 years as the county assessor for Bernalillo County, but she's done great work, and we appreciate that she's really worked hard for Luna Community College, and so we have a certificate for her as well.
For over and above.
And let me just, I know they're not here today, but I do just have a few words about Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales has long been a champion for education in rural communities throughout northern New Mexico, throughout New Mexico, all of New Mexico. As a former educator and school administrator, he understands firsthand the importance of accessible higher education and workforce training opportunities. His advocacy for students and educational institutions continue to positively impact communities across the state, including Luna Community College. And Representative Joseph Sanchez, who also spoke at Luna Day and advocated for Luna, and he was also unable to make it today, but we appreciate his continued support of workforce pathways, economic opportunity in northern New Mexico, and really advocating for rural communities and educational institutions to have access to affordable and accessible educational opportunities close to home. And Senator Pete Campos was also not able to make it, and everybody said that they could make it in a future opportunity. But we recognize Senator Pete Campos for his longstanding dedication to education and his support of northern New Mexico community communities. He was the former president of Luna Community College, and he's remained a steadfast supporter of the college's mission to serve the students through education, workforce training, and community engagement. His leadership and commitment to the region continue to create meaningful opportunities for students and families. So on behalf of the entire college board of trustees and the entire Luna Community College community, thank you for your leadership and continued support of our students and communities. And we are, let's just. So as soon as we do an official adjournment, we'll be going over to the cafeteria. Anybody in here that wants to join us for lunch, please join us for lunch, and we'll do that. And we're going to feature our culinary arts program that we opened this past year. And so we hope you will also enjoy that. And I think this is also a special treat for the trustees, because I don't think that they have had the opportunity to sample the goodies from our culinary arts. So thank you so much. But I think we're going to close the meeting.
Yes.
Is that true?
I would like to ask for, I already mentioned the next meeting, regular board of trustees, Tuesday, June 9th, and the other changes that we made. And I would like for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
I'll second that. You can check.
And roll call, Ms. Wilson?
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Luis Castillo.
Yes.
Secretary Martin Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Salke. Trustee Richard Hill.
Trustee Rolando Medrano,
Yes.
trustee Rosalie Ortega. Yes. And the meeting is adjourned at 12:18.